prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10. It is hump day, right? Am I right about that? Hump day? I don't know why this feels like a different day. It's my days have just been all jumbled all morning.
I'd like to think of it as Business Time Wednesday.
Okay. Business Time Wednesday.
So if you were to look back at this is a long time ago.
Okay.
All right. Flight of the Conchords, HBO. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a sketch comedy show with music. And Wednesday night is the night that we make love.
I can't wait.
It's Business Time Wednesday.
Dude, I cannot wait. It's going to be wonderful. Isn't it great? That changes the whole perspective.
Tuesday night is the night that I go help your father figure out his VCR.
Okay.
Thursday night is the night that you take part in the softball. Mm-hmm. Wednesday night is the night that we make love.
Wednesday, that's the day. Don't you forget it. It's a wonderful day. It's funny you bring up the VCR. I was just reading things from the 2000s that are now collectibles. That actually have value. Like you could take it to eBay and sell it for, a profit. Maybe it's just sitting around in your house, but VHS tapes are one of them. DVDs are the other. Lego sets, pieces from like board games, pieces, old school Monopoly pieces and stuff like that. Old consoles like Nintendo 64.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
People
the consoles I know
stuff.
have always.
They said the number one thing that what triggered me to think about it was the VHS because it was on there too. I was like, who's buying VHS tapes and who's got a VCR to play them? But the number one thing that stood out to me because I've done this is tour merchandise from the 90s and early 2000s. People are making crazy money on it.
Oh, I've talked about the shirts that I have.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that have this crazy amount of value.
Yeah.
I still remember this was like 2004. My wife and I, girlfriend at the time, we had because we were cool. Mm-hmm. We had been kissed by the sweet bird of youth.
Yes,
very similar to Bryce.
Right.
We actually had the Buckhead apartment, and then we were moving up to Alpharetta, and she had the box set, all VHS of Friends. And I told her we had to throw it out. And she was very upset by this. I was like, we don't even have a VCR.
Yeah, what are we going to do with it?
Why do you have the box set of Friends every single season on VHS? Let's face it, it was a lot. It was a lot of tapes.
What did you end up doing? Was it Goodwill?
We threw it out.
You just threw it? Okay. And now
I got rid of that. Who do you think's in charge when it comes to that stuff? I'm not lifting it.
Putting my foot down. But, I mean, had you hung on to it, you could throw that thing on eBay and probably make, I don't know how much. I don't know what that's worth.
I don't know who would ever go back and watch Friends on VHS.
I don't either, but all of a sudden, stuff like that's worth, like I said, tour merch, iPhones, like original iPhones are crazy value. What do you do with that? Like at least the Friends thing, if you had a VCR, you could maybe just buy a cheap one on just to be nostalgic, I guess. What are you going to do with an old iPhone? It's not even going to work.
I get the old gaming systems.
Me too. That's the only one
That's the only one in practicality because I remember setting up an old gaming system at like our basement bar, and people would sit there and play Galaga and Pac-Man.
Yeah, because it's cool.
Because they were like, old school games.
Just like when we had the console here.
We loved it. Dude, Burger Time and you were together.
Oh my gosh, all the time, man. I wanted to hug that little chef. When we got past a board and you're blowing up on Galaga.
Again, nostalgic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing stuff you did as a kid. I get that. I just don't understand the idea of let me hold on to these tapes.
Yeah. But somebody, we're going to put them on eBay and make some money off. Lego sets. I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Tamagotchi Is this the
Close enough.
electronic pet back in the day? Those, I guess, are valuable and worth something if you throw them up on eBay. First editions. This is something that like Harry Potter first edition book makes sense, right? There's some value there. I can see that. That stands out to me as makes sense. iPods, iPhones do not whatsoever, but they say those are the things right now that are so hot. If you've got them, throw them on eBay, make yourself $1 or $2.
I get like older books. That's always
me too.
been
Yeah,
the
the first edition. That's cool. Yeah, I get that.
First edition of certain books, first, second edition. I get that.
Pokemon cards,
but it's because they still work the same way they worked when they were first put out there.
You still flip the page.
You still read it.
Yeah, that's all right. Tour merch makes sense. iPhones don't. iPods don't. Game consoles do. First editions do. Pokemon cards, I guess I just don't get it because I was never into it, and my son was never into it. But I know some of these things are crazy valuable, like old school baseball cards are valuable.
I'm going to at some point. Now, I've got to find the thermos, but I do have my...
Oh, yeah, your Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's freaking awesome is what it is.
Bo and Luke looked young on that box.
They're stuck.
And Daisy Duke is right there in the corner. Looks good.
Dude, have you seen Daisy lately? She's like 72. She popped up in my social media feed for some reason, and it was all about, wow, she's still got it at 72. And so I love Dukes of Hazzard. I clicked the link, and by golly, they're right. She looks amazing for 72.
There has never been a better time in the history of mankind for you to be somebody who's like over 25.
Yeah.
Because when you go back like 30 years and you see, like, for instance, when Wilford Brimley was always playing the old guy,
yeah,
he was like 40.
No.
But he played 65, 70 all the time.
No way that can be right. He's talking about his diabetes.
Diabetes.
On the horseback. He was 40 the whole time.
He was like 40 the whole time.
Oh, my gosh.
And he came across as like the oldest dude you ever, like when he was in Cocoon, the guy was like 46.
And he looked 78.
And now when you see like 46-year-old starlet, you're like, okay, she looks amazing.
Or 50 plus, man. Like Jennifer Aniston, is she above 50? And
oh,
she
yeah.
looks unbelievable. Dude, I mean, all these ladies, yeah, are amazing. I guess you could say the dudes too. Matthew McConaughey's, he looks like he's in pretty good shape, and everybody seems like poor Wilford Brimley, man. He's always been 78. Can you imagine that your entire life? It's like Benjamin Button. Your just entire life, you're 78.
So Wilford Brimley passed away in 2020 at 85 years old.
I see. I didn't know he passed on.
Oh, Cocoon.
God rest.
Moment of silence for Wilford Brimley. All right, we did
love
good.
you, Wilford.
We did great.
I hope your diabetes is better.
Diabetes. So that man was like in Cocoon in like 1985.
He was 78 then, too.
And he was playing like a 75-year-old at like 42.
It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't add up. Is it just we eat better, we take better care of ourselves? I mean, it can't be we eat that much better.
I think life is a little easier now than it was. Life is easier, yeah. It has to be, right?
Poor Wilford, man. He came up through the hard times, He had to live through the war and things. Things were just not as easy on him. And that's why he was an old soul and an old man the whole time.
He was 49 years old when Cocoon came out.
And he played
a guy who was on his way out.
I love it. This is the greatest news I've ever heard. I mean, I feel bad for Wilford. I mean, in the name Wilford. I mean, can you imagine being in elementary school? Wilford Brimley. Is Wilford here? They're like, good Lord, is this kid 78? He's 8, not 78. His name's Wilford?
Why is he 18? No, he's 6.
That's right. He just ages incredibly fast. Isn't there a disease like that where it just ages you super fast? I mean, there's got to be. I feel like there is something that makes you just look old all the time. Bryce, can you look that up maybe? As he breaks out his iPhone. And if you got an old one, sell it on eBay.
Hutchinson Gilford.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's progeria syndrome.
Yeah, where you age like crazy fast. Yeah. It's like little kids look like they're 78. Wilford Brimley had that his whole life.
8 to 10 times faster than normal.
They diagnosed him with diabetes. Turns out it was whatever you just said. Whatever that syndrome is. Dude, it's terrible.
I'd even forgotten those ads for diabetes.
Dude, he would walk up slowly on a horse. He's like, "Do you have diabetes?"
He was like 54
and looked 78.
Yes.
He's never been a day in his whole life that he didn't look 78.
Like, I got to go find a picture of Wilford Brimley when he was 22.
Because he looks the exact same.
It's it'll be middle school.
That's right. You're flipping through his middle school annual, his yearbook. There's no chance there's a picture of Wilford Brimley in middle school on the internet. There's zero chance of it. Now, you probably create one. You probably create one in AI or something.
Here's a fun one. Here's Wilford Brimley at 50 years old in 1986 next to Bradley Cooper.
Who looks amazing at 50. Wilford looks 78. Right there, too. He was 50, looked 78. And Bradley Cooper, 50. He looks 50. Goodness gracious. You're not the only one that's noticed this, dude.
Telling you.
Red Fox, they had him up there, too?
Yeah, so it's a great mustache.
Boy, did he ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
had
was
the
quality.
all-timer.
He was a quality man, Wilford Brimley. Dude, it's crazy how often those diabetes commercials would pop up. I mean, during the Braves games, I swear it was every time they went to commercial, dude would gallop up on a horse and talk about getting you diabetes supplies for cheaper, I don't remember what the company was. But that's what he was. That's what I know him for. Not even Cocoon. Because I don't even know if I've ever seen Cocoon. But I remember that.
Wilford Brimley at 49 versus Paul Rudd at 49.
Holy cow. He had already thrown in the towel, dude. He looks like he should be. He looks like he should be on a beach somewhere, like Joe Biden.
I was about to say, it's like he could be president.
That's exactly right. He had already had the pastel shirt, that you always see old people wear. And I say old people like I'm not old. I'm 49. I'm creeping on 50.
Well, like in The Natural, because I was watching that the other night. And
he looked like he belonged in.
And Wilford Brimley as the manager is playing like the 65, 70-year-old manager. He's not. He's like 47, 48.
Yeah. And look at that handsome devil to his left.
That's right. It's Robert Redford.
Just jumping off the page. He's probably the same age as Wilford. And he looks amazing. Everybody wants to look like Robert Redford. How could you not? Gosh, man. I did not expect Wednesday to start like this. We got ships being fired out. We got extensions of ceasefires. We got so many things going on. And Wilford Brimley is the person that has carried our interest.
By the way, Robert Redford, because in The Natural, remember, It's the old manager and the middle-aged guy who shows up to play ball.
Yep.
There's 2 years age difference between the two.
No, that's impossible. And that's back before, because now with makeup technology, you can make people look any way. I don't think they had it quite like that when The Natural was made. What was that? In the 90s, The Natural?
Oh, I think it was the 80s.
80s, 89, maybe? I don't, okay. Even
1984.
84, good heavens.
Deal with that.
Yeah, boy, that's why you got there quick. I don't think they had that kind of technology in the 80s to make you look a particular way using makeup. I'm not saying they have any of it, but they certainly didn't have it like they did through the 90s and now, you use makeup and then technology, just AI and digitally changing the way people look. They didn't have any of that. And Wilford just naturally looked that way.
I didn't really plan on Wilford Brimley this morning, but I'm glad we went down this road.
Me too. We can continue. We can pivot. We can even.
And you know what? For those of you out there that have made it a point to kind of take care of yourself a little bit,
yeah, congratulations.
Know that no matter what, Wilford Brimley will always look significantly older than you.
Always. There will never be a time that he does not. So then there you go, Wilford. God rest his soul. We miss him. And his ads and his commercials and things, and hopefully his
you
legacy.
Reduced him down to diabetes.
Well, but that's what everybody knew him for. That's what I knew him for.
Those are all the ads.
I knew he was an actor. I knew that, but I was little when those ads were on.
And from what I understand, he was a really good man.
Okay.
In terms of, like, he had, I believe it was adopted children to go along with his his regular children. I was like, just a good dude.
Diabetes.
But that didn't help the aging process.
And cure for, okay. No, it did not. No. Being a good man did not help him. Let's see.
Let there be a lesson to you, sweet Bryce. The sweet bird of youth will leave you one day.
Liberty Medical.
That's what it was, yeah.
And it's exactly
Had
how
all
he
the
said it,
ads.
too. He'd walk up on the horse. You need help with your diabetes? Liberty Medical. They will check your blood sugar and check it often. Live better with this without and they even in this AI, Google's AI, whatever, breaks down the commercial's key features, and they even say diabetes. The ad became viral, an internet meme due to the distinctly phonetically heavily pronunciated word diabetes. Diabetes. Dude, this is freaking great. Just a stroll down memory lane. That's all we're doing this morning. You know?
Welcome to Wednesday, everybody.
Right.
It's business time Wednesday and diabetes.
That's right. You make love and treat your diabetes. Diabetes with Liberty Medical. Go. I wonder if that's still a website. I got to look it up now. Liberty Medical.
You think they went under when Wilford checked out?
I'm thinking yes.
He said, that's about enough. We rode this horse as far as it's going to ride.
Yeah. They gave out when he did, you know. I don't see it in Liberty Medical Supply Company, American sold. Yeah, I don't think it exists anymore. It does have a Wikipedia page though. Looks like it was bought out maybe in 2007, so it lasted longer than I expected. Talkmaster Neil Bortz, he's always been a young buck. He's always looked good, and we'll talk to him next. Here on Extra 106.3, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. Diabetes.
And diabetes.
Liberty Medical.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Xtra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. The legacy of Joe Biden lives. His open border policy let millions of illegal criminals stream into our country. We continue to have customers visit the showroom and report that they have been victims of break-ins and lost their hard-earned and irreplaceable items. So don't be a victim. Drive by the Safe House showroom and see what real security looks like. Picture yourself placing your valuables in a Fort Knox safe. Now that's real protection for your priceless valuables. Drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Opioids can start as a prescription for pain, but misuse can happen quickly, and addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. Take medications only as prescribed. Never share them and store and dispose of them safely. If you or someone you love is struggling, help is available. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Prevention starts with awareness. Learn more at georgiaopioidhelp.org. Sponsored by the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust.
What do you give the person who has been there through every stage of your life? Now, this Mother's Day, give her the gift of a lifetime. Her memories, digitally preserved forever with Legacy Box. Legacy Box is the simplest way to preserve your family's history. Old home movies, stacks of photos, film reels, the moments that tell her story. It's simple. You just pack everything up, send it in, and their team carefully digitizes your memories, returning your originals along with new digital copies you can watch, you can share, and pass down. Over 1.5 million families, including mine, have trusted Legacy Box to protect the moments that matter the most. Because once those memories fade, you can't get them back. You're not just giving a Mother's Day gift, you're giving those moments back to her. What better way to honor Mom? Right now, Legacy Box is running their best Mother's Day sale ever. Get 60% off your order. It's the perfect time to finally preserve your family story, whether it's for you or for mom. LegacyBox.com/records. Claim your special offer, 60% off for a limited time. LegacyBox.com/records.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, April 22nd, and here are your headlines. Democrats could gain ground in the race for control of the U.S. House after Virginia voters approved of a redistricting referendum. The measure gives the Democratic-controlled legislature temporary control over drawing congressional maps through 2030, potentially shifting the state's delegation from a 6-5 edge to as much as a 10-1. While it passed, the measure still faces ongoing legal challenges before Virginia's highest court. Governor Brian Kemp is highlighting tax cuts and infrastructure spending as he wraps up his final legislative session. Speaking in Cobb County yesterday, Governor Kemp pointed out more than $1 billion in taxpayer rebates and a temporary suspension of the state gas tax aimed at offsetting rising prices. He also emphasized continued investments in roads and local projects, calling economic growth a partnership between state and local government. And finally, a bomb threat prompted evacuations at multiple middle schools in Oconee County, including North Oconee High and Rocky Branch Elementary. Nearby campuses were placed on lockdown as deputies and emergency crews swept the area. Authorities later gave the all-clear with students and staff returning to class safely. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 52. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Corbett.
I don't know if you can feel it, but there is a train coming down the tracks, and that train has got Neil Boortz written on the side of it. You better watch out. Neil, what's up, man?
It's got a lightning bolt that says taking care of business.
That's right, lightning fast.
God, could you get any more corny than that?
I mean, I can try.
You work at it. You work at it.
I'll try.
You see that? There's a hot air balloon that says Neil Boortz.
That would have actually made much more sense since he's
and it
told
says taking care of business on the side of it.
That would have made much more sense. I screwed that up. I fumbled that. I mean to Neil.
Now, wait a minute. Come on, guys. A hot air balloon carries 40 gallons of raw propane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to put my name on the damn thing and fly over North Georgia.
People start shooting. Rednecks get their guns out.
I kid you not. Those moonshiners up in North Georgia.
Yes, sir.
We would fly out of Helen, Georgia, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and inevitably we would fly over somebody with a moonshine still.
I love that.
And we would hear the gunshots sometimes.
Yeah,
and we'd actually hear the gunshot and bing bing. And that's the bullet going through both, through the envelope, through the balloon itself.
Wow.
Hell yeah, they'd shoot at us.
Wowzers. What, did they just think that you were looking for their steel instead of...
Exactly.
Fed.
Exactly. We're floating...
Neil Boortz must be a Fed. That's right.
We're floating low and slow over people... No person with an IQ above 70 has ever visited.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's like Minnesota.
Yeah, and
the Lyric Center.
Now you think it'd be a good idea to put my name on that thing?
No, see, we're wrong about that. Yeah, but it's now that we've been
would if you weren't chicken.
Yeah.
We had a couple of people arrested. A couple of people were caught. It is a federally registered aircraft.
Okay.
You want to be the idiot on the ground that's shooting at a federally registered aircraft?
Well, it depends on if you're trying to get to their steel or not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to get to their steel, then
Trying to take our backs.
That's right, man.
And then when I took Jimmy Carter and Rosalind for the ride, we're flying over the woods down there in Plains, and it's hunting season, and we hear the gunshots.
Oh, I bet you do.
Oh,
at least they weren't shooting to the sky then.
Well, then Carter hangs his head over the.
Oh,
hey, it's Jimmy. Come on, Mr. President.
Please don't get yourself shot while I'm the pilot.
I know.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, are y'all looking forward to Tiffany Henyard's campaign?
I'm waiting to learn about Tiffany Henyard's campaign.
Do tell.
Remember, she was called the nation's worst mayor.
Oh, yes.
Well, when she was up there in a Chicago burb.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in Fulton County now, running for a spot on the Fulton County Commission as a Republican.
Yes, you beat me to it. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting, fascinating, odd, crazy, not surprising at all in 2026.
Well, she has no chance in hell, but it's going to be fun. Yeah. I mean, have fun with this.
Yeah, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois.
Yeah. So there's on this thing about Democrat voters. There's two words, at least in Georgia. I mean, Democrat voters? I live in Collier County, Florida. I haven't seen a Democrat voter.
They're like Bigfoot. You hear about them occasionally.
Yeah,
I heard
the
he's
last one I saw was about 20 years ago, and boy, he wanted to cut my head off because I was riding my bicycle through one of the beach parking lots, and here's this guy with this Democrat bumper sticker, just said Democrats, and so I ripped around and went back. Sir, yes, what? Said, I just thought I'd do you a favor here, sir, but I didn't want you to feel like an idiot. Somebody put a Democrat bumper sticker on your car. Oh, boy.
I love that. That's fantastic.
That'll do it.
Yeah. You won't believe what somebody's done to you. Did they cut my tires?
Somebody
No.
vandalized your ride, sir.
Now, I don't keep track of it that close. I did, however, a couple of weeks ago, change my voter registration.
Yeah, you're now
Republican.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
I was libertarian down
I know.
here for and in Georgia for 20 to 30 years.
What made you decide to do that, Neil?
Because the Libertarian Party couldn't fight its way out of a wet paper bag.
Got it. That makes sense. Yeah.
And so you just have to go for libertarian principles through the Republican Party, just like a communist party would not have a chance in an election in this country until they figured out, well, we're just going to call us the Democrat Socialist Party, which is what they have done.
Yeah.
So when you Mom Danny or what,
Mom Donnie,
him and the rest of them, Democrat Socialists. No, they are communists.
Yes, they are. Yeah. And I said this to Los earlier. That whole thing with Obama going up there and singing to the school kids was all about the embrace, in my opinion, the embrace of that politic for the Democrat Party, because he is the face of the Democrat Party, and he's saying it's okay to accept communism, socialism, Marxism. I'm putting my arm around it. It's almost like passing the torch a little bit.
When Obama arrived in this country from Hawaii, he was a dedicated communist until this guy at Occidental, whatever, that I interviewed, who was also a communist, told Obama, look, we're not going to have a revolution, a violent revolution. It's not going to happen. If you want to change this country, you do it through politics, slowly, long game. And it opened Obama's eyes. And so instead of being a communist, he became a Democrat. And then eventually we got that phrase, we are going to fundamentally transform the United States of America. How do you fundamentally transform it? Well, from a republic into something else. I wonder what he had in mind.
Well, you talk about the expansion, and I'm glad you brought up as far as, having libertarian views within the Republican Party. What I would point out for a lot of people is that the conservatives within the Republican Party are a small fraction of the party. Same thing within the libertarians, but they share a lot of similar views as far as low taxes, keep your hands, out of my pocket, leave me alone. It's weird that the counteraction of that from the Democrats is, well, if they're banding together, let's make sure we get as many communists in here as possible.
Well, and look, I was going to tell you that the two words that describe the futility of Democrat voters in Georgia are Ossoff and Warnock. That shows how bright Georgia Democrat voters are.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, you touched on this earlier. Union members, the Communist Party, now known as the Democrat Socialist Party, the Democrat Party, they are losing union members.
Yes.
They are losing voters who become more and more educated, and their goal for decades has been to replace those voters with migrants and illegal aliens. And right now, Donald Trump is their main obstacle to overcome in replacing Democrat voters are losing with I don't want to call them ignorant because they're not, but low educated immigrants.
Well, and let's face it, Neil. When you have the bag of goodies, whether it's the free hotel rooms, the cell phones, whatever it is, you tend to vote for people that are providing stuff for you. That is why the Democrats are so aggressive in getting these people into the country and then getting them onto our welfare rolls, getting them into our healthcare system,
getting them their iPhones.
Absolutely, all of that stuff, because suddenly it's a matter of, well, look, we've purchased their vote now. And as we saw from even Susan Rice last week, the internal memo that came out, now they just have to figure out, whether through amnesty or other means, how do we get them voting, and we don't have to worry about the Republicans getting in the way of that.
Well, you have to have the power in Washington to do that, and Democrats, the Democrat Socialist Party, they're too close to that right now. And people like me, let's face it, I'm not going to last another 50 years. Okay, 30 years, that would be pretty good. But I am, frankly, not going to be a working part of the effort to save this country. I've done what I can. My wife has done what she can. And we're dedicated now. This morning, do you want a dog? Oh, I'd love to have a dog. But no, not right now. We have a lot of travel. We have a lot of places to go. We have a lot of things to see. And then maybe later a dog. So we're doing the things we wanted to do right now, and I'll just sit back and watch the voters of this country. I mean, the Democrat Socialist Party. What do they call each other when they're in a meeting?
Comrades.
Come on, people. You want a clue? They call each other comrades.
And then throw on top of this, the spiritual advisor. I had to look up the exact quote, but the spiritual advisor for Mamdani, who is an Islamist and a Marxist and all the things that go along with that. And it says you don't get into politics because it's the American thing to do. You get involved in politics because politics can be a weapon to use in the cause of Islam. So you have so many layers of things that are happening. I used to say this to Los and on the show a lot, that there was we're having this Islamic revolution. And Los talked about the color revolution and even did a story time on it. And then you pair that with the, the red-green partnership, the communists and the Islamists working together, and you get a statement like that. That's what they want to do in this country. If you're not paying attention, your kids and grandkids will live in a very different America.
Oh, they're dedicated to it.
They are dedicated. They're so dedicated, Neil. You're exactly right.
By the way, have you looked at the Mets record since they?
Yes, we have.
The New York Mets, since they played Kissy Face with Mamdani.
All right. The record's 0-11 since they did that.
0-11 now. I had it at 0-10.
0-11 now since that occurred. Now, let me take it a step further, Neil, because this is like inside baseball stuff. And if you're not paying attention to it,
well,
fine.
I'm not a jock sniffer like you.
Okay, well, yes, I am a jock sniffer if you want to go down that road. So during the off season, there was this discussion that had gone on. Their shortstop, who makes a ton of money, Francisco Lindor, he has a wife that does a lot of work with the Democrat Party. She does a lot of volunteering for them. That there were issues in the clubhouse that would come down to politics. And so the Mets made it a point to clean house of anyone that they looked at as being possibly Republican. That came out of the New York media. So to see them get off to the start that they are having, where they sent away good players to other places around Major League Baseball, they're now sitting basically as a last place team, 8.5 games back, in part because of politics, Neil. Doesn't it make it even sweeter now knowing that story?
It's that sinister laugh that Neil just had. It kind of makes me smile a little bit.
Oh, I like that. Okay, well,
see what jock sniffing got me on that one? That's a good story for everybody.
Well, I mean, there's no problem with jock sniffing. Remember, I used to be in the National Football League player representative. So
yeah, so you just graduated.
I've had to sniff a few jocks.
You just graduated from it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, good news. We're glad to hear that.
By the way, we have learned now. I'm reading some opinion pieces in the papers this morning. It is now becoming accepted in Iran that it is the Iranian Revolutionary. The
IRGC.
Yeah, the IRG Guard Corps.
Yep.
They are now calling the shots. That is accepted. That is recognized.
Yes, that's correct.
That they are now running the country, and the guy that's running that. Mohammed bin Raghead, he is one of the most brutal, vicious Islamic terrorists out there.
Yep. That's why when they're sending people over to talk peace, he's still firing at Indian flagged cargo ships.
Yeah. Now, every Every American ought to sit down and just engage in one thinking process today. One thinking process. Get out a piece of paper.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and just, well, this is not complicated.
Okay, well, I'm going to write it down anyway.
But, put down a dollar figure on that piece of paper. And that dollar figure should be this. At what price per gallon should we allow Iran to go ahead and continue on the work for a nuclear weapon?
I know what you mean. Los and I have talked about this 1,000 times. Just, are you willing to sacrifice now the way we're not making a sacrifice like the World War II generation.
No.
But the point being, are you willing to sacrifice now for the future of this country to make sure that your kids and grandkids for the next 50 years don't have to live worried about a nuclear threat from Iran? It's up to you. Who do you want to take on that punishment or that task? Do you want to do it, or do you hand it off to your kids and grandkids?
Well, I like the idea of, bringing it right down to the pocketbook.
Sure.
Because, come on, this is what every news outlet in the country is pressing. Every story, excuse me, a moth just flew into my nose.
Well, good.
This place is crawling. Every news outlet, when they do a story on Iran, it is a requirement, though they will lose their press credentials, that they must say in that story, in that news report, somewhere they have to say what the price per gallon of gas is in the United States. They have to.
They didn't during the Biden administration. Interestingly enough.
Oh no! But it is essential. You've got to make people not like what Trump is doing, and you do that by telling them what they're paying for gasoline. So everybody ought to decide. Everybody ought to decide if gas gets. We should allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon if gas gets to $5 a gallon, or is it $6 a gallon? Or are we past the threshold right now? We ought to say, the hell with it, come home, allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. Because most Americans, they don't understand what Iran will do when they have a usable, deliverable nuclear weapon.
They will use it. We know that for sure.
They will.
And the minute they have it, they'll use it.
What do you think their first target would be?
Israel.
Yeah, Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And they have because they are part of I guess the best way I can put it, their particular belief in Islam is about bringing on the 12th Imam, and that requires basically the end of the world. And so that's their dedication level, that in order to bring, it would be like our version I've talked about with Tug. It'd be our version of, well, Jesus will come back as long as we start a nuclear war. That's their view of things. So that's why they're so incessant about making sure that they're able to get the weapon that they need in order to bring about this catastrophe, so that the 12th Imam shows up to bring peace to the world and make the whole world Islam.
Well, they're lizard brains.
Yeah, I mean, that is the mentality because you wonder, like, why are they so fervent about this? Here's the reason why.
Well, I don't know. I'd pay $15 a gas, but then everybody, I'm rich.
Well, and I'm at that point too.
I'd get a scooter.
Yeah, well, I've looked at it as, if this is going to cost me every fuel up, let's just say $6, and I fuel up once a week. All right, if this is going to be 2 months in order to do this, then I'm looking at my contribution. Let's say, hey, is $40 what it's going to take to make sure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon? I think that's more than enough to ensure that my children don't have to deal with this, and their grandchildren don't have to deal with this.
It's the most important right there. Doing it now, dealing with it now, so your kids and grandkids don't have to deal with it. Neil, I know you feel the same way.
My most grandchildren right now, if they're at the age of my granddaughter, I think they're more concerned about a PlayStation or getting a new iPhone than they are anything really concerning their future.
I would say young men are the exception, because I'm seeing it with my own son and his buds, and you're seeing it, across the board, how conservative that young men are moving and paying attention to some things, and that goes down to high school and college level young men. It's something new that we haven't seen in years, so that gives me hope that they're not just hoping for a new iPhone and a new PlayStation, that they care about something bigger, Neil.
Well, I hope so. It's just a very scary time. I am so glad that you are the guys on the air and not me, because I'd be on the air every morning with my hair on fire.
Well, okay,
whatever hair I have left.
That part does happen. I mean, there's a reason why Tug and I look at each other like, what are we dealing with today? But I want to tell you something, and this doesn't have to you being on a train or a hot air balloon. As much as you say you're not part of this fight, you're the inspiration for guys like Tug and I to take this thing up. We grew up listening to the program that you were doing. And so as much as you can tell the wife, hey, Queen, I'm out of this thing. I'm not doing this on an everyday basis. Yeah, you are. Because of guys like us, because of people that listened to you as long as you've done this and continue to try and hold up that mantle.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like, commentary, although some of my commentaries are pretty weak. But that's the reason I like coming on the air with you guys once a week and listening to Kimmer scream once a week.
Oh, my God! That's the Kimmer shout.
Yeah, someday that horse is going to just wheel around and kick him right into them.
We love it.
I hope it's tomorrow.
Because let me tell you, I want to see it.
Makes for a good story.
I'm telling you, we've already convinced some people that he's lost his leg. We don't know why. It's just part of the. It just came up and
it's a fundraiser.
It's just
you mean he hasn't?
No, that we know of. We don't know that he has, but it'd be a funny fundraiser.
Look, he's a Marine. Give him a break.
That's right. Absolutely.
So was my father.
Yeah, God bless him, man.
My brother was a deck ape.
Well, okay. The thing is, though, that they contributed to the greatness of America, too. Just like Los was saying, with your contribution and how much it has meant to so many, including us, your family's contribution to the military service is great, too.
By the way, I want to tap you guys for something. I tried this with Kimmer. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but nobody's ever followed up, okay?
All right.
And it was only within the last 2 years that I found out that a young Marine, you get these videos of them coming home in their dress blues.
Yeah.
That a young Marine has to buy the dress blues.
What? Now,
yeah.
You're not issued those at boot camp?
Nope.
I did not know that.
If you want the dress blue uniforms of the United States Marine Corps, hoorah, you have to buy it.
I did not know that because, when I went through boot camp in Navy, like all your Navy dress uniforms are all...
Oh, you were a deck ape too?
Yeah, I was, yes, sir. And all those dress uniforms are provided. It's just part of your sea bag. It's part of the deal.
Not the dress blues, no.
That's interesting. Wow, I did not know that. How about that?
I offered Kimmer, said, Kimmer, I want to find somebody in the Atlanta area, wherever, a young Marine recruit who there is no way he can afford the dress blues.
Okay.
And I want to buy them for him.
Okay, well, we'll start talking about it. We'll start seeing if we can't recruit somebody.
I'll give you some numbers. So we're on to something here. So $590 for basic, $840 for standard per year. This does point out
standard per year.
Yes, that's the way it's listed out here. Standard per year. It does point out that there is a difference in enlisted Marines versus officers. When it comes to officers, they have to purchase their own dress blues and other uniforms, whereas the enlisted Marine gets the standard initially. So, okay. But anything further, they're going to have to pay out of pocket.
See, I'm going to have to look that up. What's the standard versus the dress? And we'll do that. Look,
you've done something I haven't done, and that's research it.
Well, yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that somebody.
I can't make sure that every Marine recruit gets his dress blues, but I don't want one of them to go home and see some other recruit or some other corporal or whatever greeting his family with this amazing dress blue uniforms. Well,
yeah, the Marine Corps dress blues are amazing.
Yeah.
Good. They look good.
Boy, you talk about chick bait.
Are you trying to tell me that the deck ape uniform ain't chick bait?
Yeah, pretty much.
Neil Bortz, you just ruined my morning. I felt like I looked so sharp, man.
Well, really, how did it work out for you?
Well, not all that well.
Okay, there you go.
But I feel like it was my fault. That's personal responsibility. I'm taking it. It wasn't the uniform's fault. It was my fault the whole time, Neil.
So, I'll tell you what isn't clickbait or chickbait is my Hall of Fame ring, my radio Hall of Fame ring.
Yeah.
Somebody will spot that. Oh, what's that for? Oh, it's the Radio Hall of Fame. Oh, that's nice. Walk away.
Oh, like if you'd have told them it was the Baseball Hall of Fame, they'd have been, celebrated.
Got a Cy Young here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Radio Hall of Fame don't mean much. Well,
Okay.
It means a lot to us, Neil. We're proud of you.
Well, I'm going to go try my 357 club.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Get after that.
Is that you talking about the clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, make sure. I just see if I can follow along.
The 45-day rule is in effect.
Okay, I don't know what that is. What's the 45
Any
days?
new golf club will work like a charm for 45 days.
After that?
Never.
Never again?
Never again.
I love it. Neil, go get it done.
Okay. Y'all, find me somebody.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about it.
We're on the case.
We'll see what we can uncover for Neil Ports, the Talkmaster.
Y'all be good.
You too. Tug and Los until 10, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. Why we're $38 trillion in debt in the USA. Do you have a guess? I think I've got the answer. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, April 22nd. The Atlanta Braves, their 6-game winning streak is now over after dropping Game 2 of their 4-game series in D.C. last night to the Nationals. 11-4, the final Game 3 of the series begins at 6:45 this evening. It'll be Martin Perez making the start against Zach Lytle on the mound. You can hear all the game action on our sister stations, 680 The Fan, and free on the Fan app. The NFL Draft goes down tomorrow night. No first-round picks for the Atlanta Falcons this year, as the team will pick early in the second round unless they choose to move up in that draft via trade. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will be the host for this year's event. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
So what does it mean to be locally owned and operated? There's all kinds of companies that use that slogan. I can tell you what it means to me. I know when I call into a company and I need help from them or want to use the service, maybe I have their service, let's say internet service, and you call in and then you get routed through automation and it takes forever and you have to tell one person what the problem is and they're like, oh, I'm not the right person. Then they send you to the next person, you tell your story over again, and then they pass you around like a hot potato. That's not locally owned and operated. What is locally owned and operated? When you call 770-GET-HEAT and somebody answers the phone and they're right here in Atlanta and you say, hey, I got this problem with my heating and air conditioning system. It's making this funny sound. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll have somebody out there in 24 hours, sometimes day of. You don't get passed around. You don't have to tell your story a bunch of times. You get an answer. You get service right away. That's what locally owned and operated means to me. And that's why I use Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team, locally owned and operated. So many of these companies have been bought out by venture capitalists. And they keep that same local name so you think they're locally owned and operated. But when you start dealing with them, you learn that they're not. They take shortcuts. They do all those things. Not with Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and operating, serving Atlanta for 78 years. Yeah, 78 years, not fly by night. So call them 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we've forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bank Shares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bank Shares, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-869-2045 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-869-2045. That's 800-869-2045. What do you have to lose? Call 800-869-2045. Again, 800-869-2045.
And if you really think about it, technically, corn dogs are just beef Wellington in a different tax bracket.
Beef Wellington. Well, kind of.
Think about it.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I know some folks have talked about Pete and had asked about his absence, and I think Flounder and Kimmer have kind of kept people posted. He had some procedure done, and but he's back in the saddle, starting to heal up, and you got to hear him on the Kimmer Show the other day, which is fantastic. There's just nothing better than having Pete back.
Yeah, get the whole crew together.
Yeah, man, I love that, and we certainly love Pete and wish him the dadgum best.
And good for Flounder to kind of jump in there and say, "Hey, I got this thing covered."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Flounder's A+. That's the thing I love about that the show in the afternoon, man. I know it sounds like chaos, because Kimmer's just oh my God, he's just all over the place. But it is controlled chaos. Like he knows inside the chaos, he knows where he's going. Like I feel like he thrives in it.
It's like the eye of a hurricane.
Yeah.
It's nice and calm in there.
That's right. That's a great comparison. That, and when you're a Marine, you're used to chaos, right? I mean, you
thrive in it.
Yeah, he's
Make it work.
Vietnam veteran. And does everything incredibly well. So but it is, anytime you get to hear Pete and know that he's doing well, that's a good day for us around here at Extra 106.3. I don't have time to dive into it really, but I will tell you, we're $38 trillion in debt. And I was reading last night, and I think I've narrowed it down to why. 66% of your federal budget goes to welfare. 66%. So when you let 20 million people into the country, and the biggest portion of them need welfare, that number is going to continue to balloon. Nothing's going to get corrected. And look, we have military spending that we're going to have to think about, and I know military spending is a big part of it. But when you think about entitlements like welfare and Social Security, and I know people say I paid for Social Security. I know you did, but they've already spent it. So let's not pretend that that's not the case. That still goes against the full debt, Los, and 66%, such a gigantic number that's unsustainable.
For what you and I have done in our career, by the time we moved over and talked about news and politics, like one of the most shocking moments is when we had Buddy Carter sitting in this studio, and he said 80% of our federal budget we can't do anything about. I was like, well, what do you mean?
And can't even talk about it either. They don't even want you talking about it.
And we looked at him like, huh?
Do tell.
and as he pointed out, it's the entitlement program, it's welfare, it's all of these areas that before you had Doge and this new administration, I mean, you couldn't even speak of it. You couldn't even look at it. Mm-mm. And now at least we're kind of going through this and trying to find the most obvious pieces of fraud. Because for as much as the left will constantly tell you, we got to raise taxes, pay your fair share, so much of it is just BS.
Yeah. Leering centers and hospice centers.
I'm with Tug. Tug brought this up last week, and I think it makes a lot of sense. We can talk about funding things once you clean up the fraud.
That's all. I mean, start there.
Show me cleaning up the fraud.
And show me and help me understand and believe that you've cleaned it up. And then I'll be like, okay, maybe, look, I'm willing to come to the table, but until you do, I am not. 66% of your federal budget, when you're in debt like we are, going to welfare. It's unbelievable, and it's unsustainable. as I said. There's no one truly in charge in Iran, which seems to be clear, and getting more clear by the day. Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 106.3.
The communists with truth every day on the only conservative news and talk station in Atlanta. Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra app.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Of all the radio ads I've ever done, I only advertised one thing that I think saved my life. My CPAP machine, sleep apnea. And I found the best CPAP dealer out there ever, Roddy, at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. CPAPsETC.com. Everything you need, all the supplies, shipped anywhere at a price that often beats insurance. CPAPsETC.com. Go take a peek now.
It's April 22nd, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is Earth Day, the anniversary of the start of the modern environmental movement. It was first celebrated in 1970. Also on this day in 2004, a football player turned military man is killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. Pat Tillman enlisted in the Army after the September 11th attacks. He was shot by fellow Rangers at the age of 27, a death that was originally covered up by the military. German and Nazi leader Adolf Hitler concedes defeat in 1945. After learning that Soviet forces made their way into Berlin, he announced from his underground bunker that he would commit suicide. Richard Nixon dies in 1994. He had suffered a major stroke several days earlier. He was the 37th president, but resigned, the only one to ever do so because of likely impeachment and removal from office because of the Watergate scandal. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The Democrats, if you're a conservative, they're not your friend. They don't like you. The establishment Republicans hate you. They can't stand you. They can't imagine how they have to deal with the conservatives to get stuff done. They're grossed out by it. In fact, they might hate you more than Democrats do.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app. The Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Xtra 106.3.
Iran goes on the attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Hours after President Trump extended a truce indefinitely.
There was supposed to be a ceasefire, but we are getting these reports of 3 separate ships attacked in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The third cargo ship, the most recent, reportedly has been attacked while attempting to transit the strait. It may have a Panama flag on it. And earlier, the British military reported one of its ships was attacked as well.
One of the cargo ships was damaged. Iran maintains it controls the strait while a U.S. military blockade around Iran's ports remains in effect. Fox's Matt Finn also reports from Islamabad, where a second round of negotiations was supposed to take place but didn't.
Here in Pakistan, both the president and the Pakistani prime minister have left it open-ended, the possibility of peace talks happening here.
A body's been found in the Pacific near U.S. territory. Air Force divers used a drone to find it inside an overturned cargo ship, which flipped during a typhoon that hit the northern Mariana Islands last week, leaving 6 crew members missing. The other 5 still have not been located. Now an update on 2 Americans killed when their car went off a cliff in Mexico.
The incident happened over the weekend. Mexican authorities say the Americans were part of a convoy returning from an operation to destroy a clandestine drug lab. The AP's been told by 3 people with knowledge of the crash, including a U.S. official, that they were working for the CIA.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. A win for Virginia Democrats, who could get 4 more House seats there in November after voters approved congressional redistricting, countering new Republican-friendly redrawn maps in other states.
Former President Barack Obama taking to social media, congratulating voters, saying this is what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back. The public vote, however, may not be the final word. The state Supreme Court is considering whether the plan is illegal in a case that could make the referendum results meaningless.
That's Sue Guzman. America's listening to Fox.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage that big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hey, it's your old pal Neil Bortz. I'm back on Atlanta's only conservative news talk station, Extra 106.3. Okay, here's more of the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Happy Wednesday to you. Hump day. Made it halfway through this work week. And you're on the back nine. It's like the back nine, really, if you think about it. We're on the downward slope toward the weekend, and I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you spending time with us on Extra 106.3. Front Office Los, eating a breakfast burrito. Sort of.
No, last night's burrito. It's the leftovers.
For breakfast.
That's right.
Like,
little tofu burrito in the morning.
It smells good, too.
Happiness, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Can't beat Los Rios in Cumming City Center.
Let me tell you.
So good.
Yes.
Oh, great spot.
Do you get over there?
I've been over there a few times.
Okay, all right. Because you live around. We actually all kind of live in the same area, don't we? I mean, I know Los and I are like 15 minutes apart, and I think Bryce is right up in there in the mix as well.
There's two words that apply. It
yummy.
good.
Oh, it good, yeah. Yeah.
That taco
yummy.
salad good, too.
It good.
I'll take it.
And the margarita bar, can't beat that either.
Son, forget the burritos. Who cares about the burritos? I like to go in on an empty stomach. I'm coming in hot.
We saw one of our neighbors there last night, and it was her and her husband. But her husband at the time, he was running an errand, and she had two drinks in front of her. They're both from Los Rios. She goes, and basically explained how her husband was away. She's like, I'm not double fisting. I'm like, you should be, though.
Yeah, seriously, why not?
It's like, it's all right.
What's the problem?
I actually thought more of you when I walked up and like, she's got two drinks by herself.
I'm thinking that woman's got hair on her chest. Goodness gracious. Oh, today's Earth Day, everybody. It's Earth Day.
Oh, finally.
I've been waiting on it. And I just realized it was Earth Day when somebody reminded me. And I was reading that only 26% of people know what Earth Day even is.
Do you remember when we were growing up and we were given Captain Planet?
Yes, absolutely I do. I never liked Captain Planet. And I know it's easy to say now, but I even remember watching it a couple times like, what is this? As a kid, I was like, what is this? And it never got better.
The reason why I enjoy whenever it's on, and it's been a while, Rick and Morty, there is one particular episode when they have a female version of Captain Planet. And Morty hooks up with her.
Okay, right.
And it just makes fun of the whole Captain Planet thing the entire time and how it's bought and paid for.
Oh, totally.
By corporations and by countries trying to make themselves look better.
Absolutely, dude. What a
I think it was like a Ted Turner vehicle.
Totally was. Yeah, it was on maybe TBS or Cartoon Network. It was on the Turner properties for sure. I remember seeing it, and I remember watching it and thinking this is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen, and it never resonated with me whatsoever. And even today, when I see it, it's just an eye roll. There's no nostalgia to it. You know, you see Scooby-Doo, and you're like, oh, man, I love this episode. It's when Scooby and Shaggy, you know, they figure out who it is, whatever it is. You know, Bugs Bunny brings back nostalgia. The Jetsons, maybe the Flintstones, all of them. And yet, Captain Planet is nothing more than an eye roll. I can't hit next channel fast enough.
I have forgotten the last several years, but I'm glad you bring up Earth Day because I went on a run for about 12 years when I would post the George Carlin bit about how the Earth is fine.
Yeah.
We're effed.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'm going to post that once again for everyone.
Let's go. Dude, I'm so glad that I could help. That makes me smile. I was looking through some of these numbers. It just nobody even pays attention to it. It's been celebrated since 1970. 28% of baby boomers know what it is. Millennials are the ones that know about it the most, and they're like in just the low 40s. Nobody pays attention to this bull crap. It's just such a waste.
I know you're out Friday, and I'm going to be knocking out the show. I'm just going to say it right now. The entire 8 minutes of George Carlin on Earth Day, it might play during that show. The entire 8 minutes might play during Friday's show.
I'm thinking at least some of it should play today, since it actually is Earth Day, and we can make fun of Earth Day a little bit. Like, I don't know anybody that's like, my goal is to pollute the planet. I can't wait to throw trash on the ground and not pick it up. Who thinks like that? Nobody. I don't get into the climate stuff because it's such a political thing. It's not even real. Give me somebody that goes out in the woods and hunts and they bring out more than they take in. Conservation. I think this is something Joey Jones said on this show a long time ago. He was like, I'm not an environmentalist at all. I'm a conservationist because I care about the stuff around me, and I'm with him. I love cleaning it up. I love making it better. But the whole environmentalism movement is just a fraud, and everybody knows it.
Well, our friend Stephanie decided to point out that on Earth Day, I like to turn on every light in my house so I can see the Earth better. And then I drive my combustion-powered car around as much of the Earth as possible to see even more of Earth.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the point, right?
Yeah, right. To be able to see it, to explore it, to enjoy it.
Salute to you, lady.
That's right. Dude, she always... I don't know that there's anybody that's better than Stephanie. I mean, we have some loyal listeners, and I love all of you, but Stephanie she's always active, always engaged, and always has the right response in the moment. Her timeliness is unmatched. If she were a baseball player, she'd always be on time and always be a home run.
It's all line drives.
It's all line drives. That's exactly right, because she's always on time. All right, first thing to know this morning here on Extra, 1063. Download the app. It's great to listen there.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie. Put a boot in your ass, courtesy of the Morning Extra here, because the red, white, and
George Carlin is loading into Fox Pro, so I can't do anything with it.
All right. We're going to give you a pass on that one. We're going to give you a pass. Los.
Well, it's going to take a little bit of time with that George Carlin. Yeah, it's 8 minutes worth, but
that's a big file.
We'll get it down to the last little tiny bit of stuff. As predicted, we talked about it yesterday on the show. We don't know, or no one knows who's running Iran.
Because most of the leadership is dead.
Because of all the people that we have killed. All right, we told you it was a distinct possibility as to what was going to happen during this deadline. Donald Trump ended up putting this out onto social media. Said, based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, not unexpectedly so, and upon the request of Field Marshal Azmin Mir and Prime Minister, somebody else from Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I've therefore directed the military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able. Okay, we're not getting all the silly taco stuff that comes from these people. I mean, I'm sure that
there's some.
Well, the left who is still on to that.
Yeah.
But this was as predicted. There basically is going, right now you have, I don't know if you want to call it a coup, but you have rival factions fighting it out in Iran to figure out what direction they're going.
That's exactly right. You have the leaders in the IRGC who are hardliners that want to do whatever it takes. They're going to fight to the bloody end because they think it brings back 12 Imam, whatever, all that. And then you have the people that are in the government of like, hey, do you realize that our economy is going to collapse in like 2 or 3 weeks? Do you realize that our oil storage is about to fill up and we're going to have to turn off the production of oil? which is really challenging to turn back on and damaging to the system as a whole. Do you realize what's happening to us economically? Like, people that make sense, that use common sense, are able to see that through and understand this blockade and everything the United States is doing and can do is going to collapse the entirety of the country. Hardliners don't care. People in the middle that are logical thinkers, they get it.
And that's the fight right now.
And it's between them.
It's
as
between
much as
them,
it is
right.
between us and them.
I mean, as much as we can say, well, why don't we just bomb them? Well, we don't want to bomb the ones that are actually willing to discuss this stuff.
Exactly right. It's exactly right.
It's like, how do we determine between the hardliners, the nutty ones, and the ones that are actually trying to get a peace deal done? That this is, as much as it wants to be painted in the media, that, well, this is just to show you this disrespect Iran has for the United States of America. Listen, they're already beaten. It's just a matter of who's going to take charge of the beaten carcass.
That's right. They know it. You know it. The world knows it. Everybody knows it. There's no questioning that Iran is in a probably the weakest position that maybe they've ever been in since at least the ouster and the revolution and all that stuff. I'm okay with this because it just shows the world. Because if you listen to Tucker Carlson, the Resistance podcast, the ones that have turned on of Tucker, I mean, MS Now, because we have it in the studio, they had a whole cry on down at the bottom. Tucker apologizes for ever promoting Trump, you know. So this is the same guy that was, and I hate, this breaks my heart that he's gone down this path. He's either getting paid or they're blackmailing. Something is wrong. Something jumps off the page.
When you don't have 10 producers and you're left to whatever you want to get into, I swear to you, there is a mental illness faction that occurs when you do this job and you are left on your own. Like, I firmly believe it. Like, you see these people that start to twist off and you're like, what has gone wrong with that person? And it's not that they're separating from the herd in some different way. It's not like, you know, when we go, hey, I don't care for this particular aspect of the administration, or I don't like the spending from 2020. Sure. Okay, these are legitimate concerns. Theirs go so far off the reservation that it just makes you wonder, it's like, have they made themselves crazy with the fact that everything is on them? Like, they don't have the backing of the Fox News brand. Absolutely. And the 20 producers and all that sort of stuff to kind of keep you sane. It's just you by yourself with a camera and you start saying weird stuff.
Yeah, I think that's it. But there's also that part of me that goes, could they be painted into a corner for some reason or other, something they've done, something they said, some relationship they have? And I'm not saying that's it. I'm trying to walk through it. There's some of that. There's part of me that believes there's some sort of blackmail or they're getting bankrolled because they don't have that big brand behind them anymore.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain a little bit on this sort of stuff when it comes to, especially when it comes to Iran, because this ends up being like the flashpoint. A lot of these companies that are individual people are working very similar to tech firms, in that there has to be constant growth in order to facilitate the runway.
Sure.
And when you get to a point, like the Joy Reids of the world has found this out, there's no listenership. There's no viewership.
That's right.
Same thing with Don Lemon and Don Lemon. It's like,
both of them.
I don't have listenership. I don't have viewership. Well, Tucker does. But what happens when the people that are backing you financially, or the people that are investing with you, say, hey, where's the next 20% growth coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the next 10% growth coming from? It's going to have to be from having a divergent opinion.
Sure. I think it can be absolutely, because there's so many. I mean, you got Candace, you got even Megyn Kelly.
How do you grow if you are saying the same thing on a regular basis?
I'm with you, but there's, I don't know, man. It feels like something more sinister involved.
Tony, this is tech industry sort of stuff.
Right. There's just something in my gut that doesn't sit right, and I don't know what it is. I'll just have to, at some point, Hopefully, I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean,
we'll figure it out.
If you want more money, if you want more investment into what you're doing, you have to consistently grow.
I think, but the flip of that though is because these people are. Think about the technology that we use. We know the Chinese use the potential for someone to be set up and say, hey, we're going to expose something about you that will greatly embarrass you, that will be the end of your career, that will destroy your family. If you just go along, everything's good.
See, you look at it as a sinister situation. I don't.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying 100% that's it. I'm just saying, could it be? Because it feels like something sinister.
The reason why I say it's not is because I've seen this play out so many times. You had a radio DJ in town, very popular, that when he hit a plateau, it turned into, okay, what's the next thing? Hey, I'm an alcoholic. And then the backlash started. He's like, I was just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was supposed to be the next thing to get more people to grow and to listen and so it's just these people are largely playing a role. I was like, I don't know what Tucker Carlson ever thought in his life because of this. I'm not sure what Megyn Kelly ever thought in her life because of this.
That's what makes me think there's something more. And I don't know that I'm right. You have years and years and years of saying Islam is, dangerous and a threat to America, and then all of a sudden, oh, you shouldn't talk bad about Islam. And then he's twisting Christianity. Tucker specifically jumps off the page to me. That's the reason, because I have years of him saying what he believes. He says he's a Christian man.
Do you think that radio DJ was being paid to say he's an alcoholic? No. It was just about giving you a new storyline.
Sure, I get it.
It's an act, man.
No,
That's what you're finding out. The word nowadays is grifters.
Yeah, the grifters, yeah. 100%.
It's an act. Okay.
It may be, or it could be something deeper. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that jumps off the page with Trump giving the Iranians time to figure out what they want to do. We're keep the blockade. We're making sure that their money is tied up and they don't have the ability to make it. Hopefully, a collapse in the economy. It wasn't that long ago when Tucker and Candace and Megyn were all saying, well, Trump's a warmonger. He's going to drop a nuclear weapon. Boy, you want to talk about looking like a clown right now. This dude the president just extended a period of we're not going to blow up the infrastructure. We're not going to blow up the oil infrastructure. We're going to leave it all in place so y'all figure out what's going on. And last week, all of those people we were just talking about were talking about him being a warmonger, going to drop a nuke.
Well, and this is where I talk about the difference in what is going on. When you listen to this radio program, it's because if we need to be bombastic about something, that's going to happen. But we're the tortoise. It's like slow and steady. Here's the information. Here's what we're doing. If I had management coming to me and saying, well, listen, you need to drive more people to be fanatical about this stuff. How do you get the next 10%? I'm going to be like, Trump's going to nuke them.
You're right.
But I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Everything he has done over the better part of now a decade of being where he's been, at no point have I ever said, oh, he's going to nuke some country. You're doing it to create engagement. That's what they're doing.
In many cases, I believe that to be the case and to be true. I just don't know what else is going on behind the scenes.
It'd be very similar to when you're out Friday and I'm like, listen, Tug left because he's dealing with a drug addiction.
Right. Monday he's back, he's good.
And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, did you hear that Tug Coward is it? That is bombastic BS.
Sure. I know. I get it. I do.
That's what these fools are doing.
I do, but I know some of them.
And in the meantime, the real truth is Iran doesn't have any leadership. We know who to work with.
Which is why Donald Trump said seriously fractured. And we all know that to be the truth. How many leaders have we taken out? He even said, we can't figure out who to negotiate with because they're all dead. Everybody we had lined up to negotiate with are all dead.
And when we keep killing any leadership, what good does it make for anyone to keep bombing them right now?
I think it's a smart play.
Just, you know what? Cut them off financially and just let them figure it out.
The tortoise approach, just like you described it. It's exactly what's happening. And you heard Scott Bessent talk about it. just the economic collapse that is coming to the Iranians. It's so clear. It would happen to any country if you have every bit of their economy turned off. Those people that own businesses, the ones that can't go to work because who are they going to sell to? There's a blockade. When we come back, Dr. Rich McCormick joins us. He's going to discuss the vote on temporary protective status for 350,000 Haitians in America that set some of the folks that voted for him in a bad way, man, set them off. And they reached out to us, so we reached out. And we're going to get the answer next on Extra.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise. So when we go through days or weeks of volatility in the market, Sean, it's hard to know what to do. What can you tell us?
The biggest thing is don't panic or make immediate decisions with your money. Take those emotional concerns out of the middle of it. You know, look, markets cycle regularly. Market corrections and bear markets are a normal part of the cycle. They're just part of the plan that are going to be accounted for. If you feel nervous when you read the headlines about big drops in the market, you might not know enough about how your money is positioned. That's why it's important to get the right guidance on a financial plan for your retirement.
Tell us about the offer you have for our listeners.
All right, so now's the time to start, folks. Looking ahead and identifying if you have too much risk in your portfolio. That's the first thing. We have a helpful little resource for our listeners today. We call it the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit. You can get it today by calling or texting WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped put together this just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement, plus guides on major topics like investments, Social Security, income planning, taxes, and so forth of the key components of retirement. So if you want to get this information in your hands today, call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer and get your Retire Happy Framework today. Just text WISE to 770-802-2200. The team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework to you right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm does not provide tax services.
Great, another auto repair. You took it to the dealer and now you're starting to panic. They say it's going to cost thousands and take weeks to complete. So don't fall for the tricks. Take it to Vicks. From simple oil changes and tires to transmission replacements and collision repair, you can count on Vicks Auto Care for honest, affordable service. Vicks Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them today at VicksAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader.
This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Golf fans, listen up. April 24th through 26th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture takes over TPC Sugarloaf, and they're playing in modified Stableford. Birdies score big, Eagles score bigger. Pars, not enough. It rewards aggressive play, so these PGA Tour champions legends have to attack and make it happen. More risk, more birdies, more excitement. Get your tickets now at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th at TPC Sugarloaf.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, April 22nd, and here are your headlines. Democrats could gain ground in the race for control of the U.S. House after Virginia voters approved of a redistricting referendum. The measure gives the Democratic-controlled legislature temporary control over drawing congressional maps through 2030, potentially shifting the state's delegation from a 6-5 edge to as much as a 10-1. While it passed, the measure still faces ongoing legal challenges before Virginia's highest court. Governor Brian Kemp is highlighting tax cuts and infrastructure spending as he wraps up his final legislative session. Speaking in Cobb County yesterday, Governor Kemp pointed out more than $1 billion in taxpayer rebates and a temporary suspension of the state gas tax aimed at offsetting rising prices. He also emphasized continued investments in roads and local projects, calling economic growth a partnership between state and local government. And finally, a bomb threat prompted evacuations at multiple middle schools in Oconee County, including North Oconee High and Rocky Branch Elementary. Nearby campuses were placed on lockdown as deputies and emergency crews swept the area. Authorities later gave the all-clear with students and staff returning to class safely. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 52. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Corbett.
Tug and Los on Extra 106.3, and we welcome Dr. Rich McCormick to the show. Dr. McCormick, how's your day, man?
Hey, I really appreciate you having me on, of course. And, we're off to another great start of the day. We had a robust debate this morning on the FISA and everything else that's going on right now. It's a lot going on here.
Yes, sir. I understand. We've had a lot of questions, and I'm sure you've fielded a lot of these questions, too, about the vote in the House. 3-year extension of temporary protected status for 350,000 Haitians living in the United States. I think one of maybe 10 Republicans. So wanted to ask you about that because we had some folks that are pretty upset. And I'll be honest, when I saw your name on that list, it threw me a curveball too. I did not expect that vote from you. Why did you vote the way you did?
Sure, and most people know my status on immigration. I'm a hardcore guy against illegal immigration. I believe that they meaning the Democrats, have purposely flooded this nation with about 14 districts worth of illegal immigrants who come here not in good faith. I've spoken over and over again vehemently against illegal immigration, about closing the border. That's always been my stance. I won't stay on this Haitian vote specifically. First of all, the vote, just for those people who are emotional about it, doesn't really make a difference. And what do I mean by that? The Senate's not going to take it up, and if it was, and it somehow passed, the president would. So it's really, this is about more of a philosophy than actually difference. There's things that we vote on that make a difference. This one will not come to fruition, so let's take that emotional content out right now.
Sir.
When we talk about my vote, first of all, I didn't do it for political benefit. I knew I'd take fallout on this. So realize that when I did it gritting my teeth, realizing I voted against bringing it to the floor about the petition. I didn't want to have to vote on this vote in this way, but I want people to understand my philosophy. First, we've always talked about on this show that we are not a cult. We shouldn't agree on everything, and that we should be respectful. Reagan's rule, the fact that we agree on most things, that we shouldn't throw people under the bus for disagreements is very important to me. And I think I've withheld that judgment on other people who voted against me in the past on other issues. But on this specific, let me get very personal with you guys just for a second. And for those people who don't understand, Haiti being a Western Hemisphere country that has absolutely zero government right now. It is run by about 40,000 criminals of about 4 different sects. We have a guy that when I went down there for the Haiti earthquake relief and served in capacity as a physician, trying to help these people who had horrific injuries. We were doing fasciotomies. We were literally cutting people's limbs off, delivering babies in austere conditions. I met with a guy named Ribinson, who was my translator. He couldn't come to America to be educated for seminary because of our immigration laws, so we got him educated in the Caribbean. And then went back, sponsored a church, which has baptized many, many people there. And when the criminals took over, they basically killed people in his church, took everything, including his house, his church. He had to smuggle his wife out because she was basically, women were being raped haphazardly and people were being murdered. There were a certain subset of people that were allowed in the United States legally, and they worked in hospitals, hospice centers, and nursing homes. Some of them I know. They're my friends. They worked in the hospital, working hard, just like you and me, just trying to escape something that was horrific. I told the White House administration a couple months ago when Kristi Noem announced that all 300,000 Haitians were going to be sent back to Haiti. I said, that's not the American way. I understand why you send people back to where they came. If they came across the Mexican border illegally, send them back to Mexico. Fine. If they're thieves or robbers or whatever, send them back to Haiti. Absolutely. But the people who are here legally, following the laws, who, if you sent them back to Haiti, would literally, as soon as they walk off the plane, they would have guns in their faces. Everything they have would be taken away. They'd have no property, no way to eat. Their wives would be raped. They maybe have a bullet in the head because that's how it works over there. They have no way to survive. And as a man of conscience, looking people in the eye, I know that would be treated that way. I just come back to my faith, and I think that what you do to the least of my brothers, you do unto me. And it is unique to Haiti. It's not like even Somalia or Afghanistan, who are not in this hemisphere, who have other places to go. I just couldn't in good conscience vote for that. And I understand why people would disagree with me. I really do. And I hate illegal immigration with all my heart. But this is a unique situation, which I don't see a better alternative for those people who came here legally to send them back to almost certain death, rape, and robbery and starvation. I just couldn't do it. And I hope people give me a little grace on this because I think it's a unique situation for a select few of those people from Haiti. And if you do a blanket rule, and I told the White House, and I love the president, and we have a good relationship, but I just couldn't do a blanket rule for those people who have no other place to go at that point.
Congressman Dr. Rich McCormick is our guest right here on the Morning Extra. I talked about some of the people that were seeking asylum from South Africa and some of the carnage that has gone on there with some of their farmers. Talked about some of the people that have left Ukraine because of the forced military situations and obviously the chaos in Haiti. Do you believe, or do you think because of what the Biden administration did, it's created almost a zero tolerance policy within this country, where in the past we used to look forward to having people coming from war-torn areas or places of carnage and saying, here, come seek asylum, we have a place for you. I think when we move and we had 10, 15, 20 million people come across illegally, it's now created a zero tolerance policy, especially with those that are Republican voters.
100%. And realize, too, that, like, for example, with Ukraine, you have 1 million people that went into Poland. They can go all over Europe. And that's a place they can go and fit into those, assimilate into those cultures that can actually absorb it and have likewise. Same thing with other places, South Africa. They're going to have other places to go that have similar cultures. And I'm not saying that you can't come here, but, I mean, we can't accept mass numbers, obviously. Sometimes it can help us. Sometimes it can hurt us. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's created this zero-sum game where we as Americans have lost our ability to even have compassion in some ways because we've been abused and people are just worn out and tired, and they're seeing their tax dollars go to waste, and they're seeing people come here that hate America and who don't represent the best of us and who have religions that maybe literally fundamentally they want to actually work against us. We're just worn out. And I understand why people are angry and misunderstand my vote on this and maybe misunderstand even my opinion. But I think you're spot on in that analysis.
Let me ask you this, Dr. McCormick, as Dr. Richard McCormick joins us on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 as always. Anytime we've ever had a question about anything he's voted for or anything he's doing, he's always come on and answered the questions, and I admire that and appreciate that. Away from politics altogether, does your Hippocratic Oath play into that decision at all? Do you feel like your responsibility is something that is in play that's bigger than politics?
Absolutely. I want to just tug on the heartstrings. I understand America first. I'm 100% America first kind of guy. But you're literally you're looking people in the eye who've not broken, and I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the people I'm talking about. People who've never broken a law, who are here in good faith, working hard, serving your grandparents, your parents, people who've done nothing illegal. You're looking them in the eye and say, I'm going to send you back to certain death, destruction, rape, and harm for certain. It's not even questionable. I just want to appeal to my fellow Christians out there. This is a unique situation for a unique subset of people. It goes beyond politics for sure in my faith. And I hope you hear the emotion in my voice right now, because I'm appealing. I'm appealing to you guys as good people, because I know you're good people out there. I really know you are. And at least give me a little grace and understanding that I'm America first. I'm a hardcore against illegal immigration, but this is a unique situation for a unique subset, not all Haitians, but for a subset of Haitians that I think is really important. We as America represent the best.
Can I ask you one more on this? How long does this last? Where do you see this going? We know, like you said, it's not going anywhere in the Senate most likely, and the president would veto it even if it did. How long does this last, and where does this go? Where does the road lead for these 350,000 people?
Well, let me tell you what happens if you take away temporary protection, basically. If you take it away, they still get a day in court. They get to talk about their asylum, but now they can't work. They can't work in your nursing homes. They can't work in your hospice centers. They can't work in the hospitals. But they still get to say, okay, you're really going to send me back to a country where these bad things are going to happen. It doesn't change anything but that, really, because they're still going to have their day in court like so many other people who came here out of illegitimacy. In other words, I don't like how it is in Honduras or Nicaragua or Colombia or wherever, where they can actually go back where there's actually a government, and they can actually, maybe it won't be as nice as here, but they can still survive. So just because you take away their temporary protection doesn't mean you're going to send them out of America. It just means that they're not going to be able to work, and they're still going to have a day, because that's the American law. If you don't like the law, then you're basically saying, I don't want anybody else to ever come here for any reason. And I don't think that's good for our country, that we need to right-size our legal immigration to fit what we need in America, because, once again, the business of America is business.
Congressman Dr. Rich McCormick is our guest on the Morning Extra. And I think this is an area where whether it gets conflated, people get confused. Having this temporary status is not amnesty. When you are seeking this asylum, this is not amnesty. And so this doesn't mean that if Haiti can get its act together, if they can ever have a parliament or a president, that these people may not be able to, may be able to go back to Haiti in the future. But again, I think part of the problem that we've had with so much of this stuff is that when we had so many people that came across the border claiming economic asylum, it seemed to have turned all versions of asylum into something that we were not interested in.
That's a fact. So when you come here from no country, anywhere you come from, the country's not as good as here. So this I don't want to use any bad words, but this idea that you're leaving a country to come here because you're going to have a better living, of course you are. This is America. But that's not an excuse to come here illegally or to claim asylum. But if you are literally coming from a Western Hemisphere country where you can't go to Mexico, you can't go somewhere else, or especially, like I said, with this specific subset of people where they came here legally in good faith to work, and I know there's a percentage of those people that did not come here and that are on welfare and shouldn't be, and should either work or get out or be sent back to Mexico, wherever they came from. That's not what I'm talking about. But I think that's exactly right. We've forgotten what we normally do and how we do it and why we do it. And there's a history to this that makes sense to us. There's been totally abused by the Democratic Party on purpose so they could warp the future voting system of America. That's why the fact that people who come here illegally and have babies has been called into question for a long time. I've been talking about that for 30 years, this idea that you could sneak into America, have an anchor baby, and all of a sudden they're citizens. That I've been questioning for decades, and that's something we need to fix also.
Dr. Rich McCormick is our guest on the Morning Extra. All right, I want to finish up at least my portion of this by asking about something that happened last week that didn't have anything to do with this. It didn't have anything to do with this vote. No. But I thought it was fascinating to see the topic of Ibogaine get to the Oval Office, the studies from the state of Texas, and how this is being explored as a possible treatment, especially for our warfighters that have been dealing with health issues. What is your opinion on it? Have you gotten a chance to look into this? That obviously a situation at one point it's illegal within this country, but it seems to have helped a lot of warfighters that dealt with the global war on terrorism.
Yeah, it's much better that we find something other than heroin and other derivatives that people use to deal with their PTSD. This is something that's been coming for a long time, where people have been experimenting with outside the box kind of medications, some of homeopathic mushrooms, stuff like that. And what's interesting, I was talking to Morgan Luttrell, a Navy SEAL who's in Congress with me. His brother is Marcus Luttrell, the sole survivor. And we've been for a long time fighting to find solutions for veterans, because it's been such a massive problem for not just suicide, but depression, anxiety, drug and alcohol abuse, trying to find something that works. And this is a really neat opportunity to kind of wholesale it and see on a mass scale how it really outcomes. It needs to be monitored. It needs to be, of course, administered and make sure that it doesn't have side effects that are very, very harmful. But so far, it looks very promising. And for the first time in our lifetime, actually for the first time in the history of mankind, we're seeing new treatments come online for Alzheimer's, ALS, neurological deficit, PTSD, all these kind of outside-the-box thinking things, which are really going to have a massive positive influence on healthcare and PTSD and veterans, and I'm really excited about it, actually.
Dr. Rich McCormick, our guest. I got one last one for you, too, and this is just a discussion we just had. I would love to get your opinion on the Senator Chris Murphy and him openly cheering for Iran when he thought that 26 vessels got through the American Navy blockade, and he quote tweets it and merely says, "Awesome." That dude is cheering for our enemies. I have no room for this in my life. As a guy that was just an everyday enlisted sailor, man, when I saw this, it flew all over me. And I know you're not in the Senate, but you couldn't help but miss it. Do you have an opinion on it?
When you look at these people who want to claim that military Marines, sailors, and soldiers have committed war crimes, the same people, by the way, that claim that. When they say the president is committing war crimes, they mean the military is committing war crimes. They're literally rooting for the bad guys. They're literally rooting against our military. It is, you almost want to say it's treason.
I totally said it was treason.
It's a very strong word, because treason requires a death sentence. I don't know if I want to go that far. But I want to point out that when you're rooting for the bad guys, it would be rooting for Saddam Hussein or somebody. I mean, it's just horrible politics, and shame on them. And I hope the American people are paying attention and vote accordingly.
I hope so too. Dr. Rich McCormick, guest this morning on the Morning Extra. I want to tell you thank you, because we had so many people that reached out on the phones and on social media and said, you have to ask these questions. I had, when I announced that you were coming on, a guy reached out and said, you have to ask about this. So I just admire the fact that you're willing to come on. You're willing to take the heat, because, look, I know you were getting some. And the fact that you're brave enough and in your convictions enough to come on and do it, I salute you and I appreciate you, sir.
I always appreciate you guys. I once again implore all my fellow conservatives out there to, once again, remember, if we all agree on everything, it's a dangerous thing. It's a cult. We're not like that. We're fiercely independent. I hope you guys give me grace, realize where my heart is, realize I'm super, super against illegal immigration, but this is a unique situation, and I hope people understand. Even when they disagree, I respect that. I get it. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity just to talk from the heart about this very important issue.
You're always welcome.
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate your time. Make it a great day, and go get some good work done for the folks here in Georgia and across the country. Thank you.
God bless you guys. Semper Fidelis.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. One Georgia senator depends on folks not knowing how the justice system actually works. We'll talk about that next on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being here.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers, because for over 70 years, Howard Brothers has been helping Georgia get the job done right. From outdoor power equipment and hardware to parts and service, they've got the brands you trust and the people who know their stuff. So if you're a homeowner or if you're a pro, either way, there is someone who is working on a big project, and Howard Brothers is your local partner for those sorts of projects with quality, honesty, and experience. With locations all across North Georgia, stop by today or visit howardbrothers.com and see why the grass is always greener with Howard Brothers.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, April 22nd. The Atlanta Braves, their 6-game winning streak is now over after dropping Game 2 of their 4-game series in D.C. last night to the Nationals. 11-4 the final. Game 3 of the series begins at 6:45 this evening. It'll be Martin Perez making the start against Zach Lytle on the mound. You can hear all of the game action on our sister stations, 680 The Fan, and free on the Fan app. The NFL Draft goes down tomorrow night. No first-round picks for the Atlanta Falcons this year, as the team will pick early in the second round unless they choose to move up in that draft via trade. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will be the host for this year's event. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
I'm so sick of all these cheesy lawyer billboards. You might be too. If you're injured in a car crash, you don't hire a lawyer because they're sweet or strong or the biggest. You hire a lawyer who's recognized by their peers as one of the top lawyers in the state. You hire a lawyer who's going to listen to you, fight for you, and has the case results to prove it. That lawyer is me, Bruce Hagan, the people's lawyer. I've been proudly selected by my fellow lawyers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state, and for 21 consecutive years as Georgia's super lawyer. Hagan-law.com, Hagan-law.com.
Opioids can start as a prescription for pain, but misuse can happen quickly, and addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. Take medications only as prescribed. Never share them and store and dispose of them safely. If you or someone you love is struggling, help is available. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Prevention starts with awareness. Learn more at georgiaopioidhelp.org. Sponsored by the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Don't miss out as division rivals the Philadelphia Phillies come to Truist Park April 24th through the 26th. The weekend begins with the Star Wars ticket package and theme night, where fans can interact with characters and enjoy an evening in a galaxy far, far away. Plus, fans who purchase the ticket package will receive a Matt Olson Mandalorian bobblehead. And then on Saturday, the Braves will celebrate Brian Snitker's legendary career with a pregame ceremony inducting him as the newest member of the Braves Hall of Fame.
And Acuna swings a mighty bat. That thing is way out of the ball
ballpark.
The weekend wraps up with the mini Michael Harris II bobblehead giveaway for the first 3,000 kids through the gates on Sunday. April baseball concludes with the Detroit Tigers April 28th through the 30th. Fans can look forward to the Snoopy ticket package on April 28th, followed by the Chris Sale bobble card giveaway presented by Napa on April 29th. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets for the jam-packed week of fun. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Got a home project coming up? Don't miss the All Four Seasons Home Show, hosted by Dan Watkins of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors and Chris Lalamia of the Trusted Toolbox. Every week, they talk with experts from Atlanta's top home improvement companies, sharing tips on plumbing, roofing, landscaping, and more. This week, we have Stan Homer from Little River Cabinet Shop. So don't miss the All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9 on Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los on Extra 1063. A lot of feedback from Dr. Rich McCormick, and we appreciate it all. 404-741-1230. I understand people are not satisfied. Some people are not satisfied with the answer he gave, which is the whole point of having him on. We wanted you to hear from him.
Like your cousin Curtis from jail.
That's right.
Used his phone call.
His one phone call. I'm pissed. Are you pissed because you're in jail? No. And Dr. McCormick.
Are you pissed because you're in jail? No. I'm pissed at Dr. McCormick.
That's right.
No, I think that the important standpoint is you're going to ask the question. You're going to get a response. If you don't care for it, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, sure.
And as I was telling Tug during the break, if I was in the same position, I'm voting no because I don't give two craps about Haiti.
That's right.
But the fact that Dr. Rich McCormick does, and he has his reasons why, okay. Now, again,
I don't have to agree with it.
I don't have to agree with it. At the same time, I've wanted to understand it.
That's right.
And that was the important part about the explanation.
Absolutely right. Continue to call, to reach out via social media, and we'll discuss it there. Quickly, we want to get to Senator Warnock. This dude counts on you not knowing nothing. What is it, the old Chris Rock? I don't know.
Yeah, he depends on the fact that you don't know the difference between an actual criminal case and a civil case. This is what Senator Warnock is now trying to peddle when it comes to Donald Trump and how we got to go at him.
When the man who holds the highest office in the land has been confirmed by a court verdict to be a sexual abuser, that he could be heard on tape bragging about being a sexual abuser. We knew all of that before he got elected the first time, and yet there are Christians who would surround him this morning and talk like he's the second coming. Something's wrong with us. We need to be healed. We need to be healed.
All right, so first off,
dude,
first off, he's a slumlord.
Snake oil.
It's snake oil salesman. Go ask his ex-wife about him. But beyond that, there's still the whole angle of you're writing the E. Jean Carroll bit.
Yep.
That woman is a nutcase.
Yes.
And when you look at how far the Democrats went during the time period of Joe Biden and all the cases that fell apart, the fact that they were able to, because it was not a criminal case,
right?
It was a civil case. And the burden of proof for a civil case is basically, all right, fart in the wind. Doesn't have to be much. And that's what he's using. Like, okay, all right.
And,
good luck with that.
And then
still got elected.
And then to stand up in the pulpit, though.
Yes, of course.
Using something that you know is not to be true.
That you know is incredibly flimsy.
That's exactly right. And standing up there in front of a congregation and presenting yourself one way while using flimsy information, it feels awful. That just and just the delivery, all of it just seems like such a made for TV kind of fake. It's just fake. It's all fake. He's fake.
So many of the cases during that time period when America was flat out insane are all being overturned. I mean, just think about what happened to Rudy Giuliani. They made it a point. Hey, this is one of Trump's guys. Let's go bankrupt him. And now we start to see all the voter fraud that happened here and what he was questioning.
Dude, and then on top of that, just the fact that he is representing morality. We're not. Boy, I don't know about that. When we continue, Chris Murphy may have more reasons than we knew to cheer for the Iranians. Next on the Morning Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, this has actually been fun. Now, I will tell you that maybe 40 years ago, in the first quarter of my talk radio career, I would get bothered by death threats. I couldn't believe it. Somebody out there wishing I was dead because of something I said on the radio. Then later on, I started to be amused by them. And in the last of my years on the radio, I got concerned if I didn't get death threats because that means I wasn't doing an effective job. Lately, I have also been amused by how absolutely unhinged and violent lefties have become after Donald Trump was inaugurated president. Now, I put this up on Facebook yesterday morning. I think it was perfectly innocuous. It was a good question that should bring interesting responses. I wrote, here's a little exercise for you. Write down on a piece of paper a price per gallon of gasoline beyond which you think that we should go ahead and allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. That's it. Now, most of the responses were reasonable. But can you believe it? That brought forth death threats. I got quite a few comments on that. I thought you were dead by now. Too bad you aren't. Or, I hope your grandchildren get drafted. What are you still doing alive? My friends, these are demented lunatics. These aren't people offering cogent responses to a question. They're crazy. Their hatred of Donald Trump have completely warped their minds. I would like to point out to you at this time that there is no right to vote in a presidential election in our country. None. That shows how wise our founding fathers were. Now let's take our ability to restrict who gets to vote and put it to work. You know where. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app, now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Iran wouldn't talk, but it will attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, targeting 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz that after President Trump extended a ceasefire indefinitely despite a second round of negotiations not taking place.
3 container ships have come under fire from Iranian gunboats without warning. This one just 8 miles off the coast of Iran while outbound the Strait of Hormuz. Another gunboat caused heavy damage to the bridge of another vessel. Before these latest attacks, President Trump said in another post, quote, Iran is collapsing financially. They want the Strait of Hormuz opened immediately immediately starving for cash.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House. The U.S. blockade still in place around Iran's ports. Central Command posted on X 28 ships have been turned around. Sunday, one was intercepted, taken over by the U.S. military. And there's also this news out of Iran. Another person hanged.
The news outlet of Iran's judiciary says Mehdi Farid passed sensitive information to Israel's spy agency. His execution is the latest in a series of death sentences carried out on people Iran claims were working for Mossad. On Monday, 2 people were executed for allegedly planning attacks inside Iran. Opposition groups say this is really a wartime crackdown on dissent.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Florida executed a killer last night. Chadwick Willesee, convicted of murdering a neighbor in 1990, setting her on fire after she caught him burglarizing her home. Willesee went to his death maintaining he's innocent, telling the victim's family he hopes it brings him peace, but this is wrong. And then he was lethally injected. Former President Obama praising voters in Virginia for standing up for democracy after they approved a congressional redistricting that Fox's Madeline Rivera reports
could allow Dems to pick up 4 more seats in the House in the midterms, and that is a major shift as the GOP tries to hold on to a razor-thin majority. Democrats say the redistricting effort is a check on President Trump's push for GOP states to redraw their maps.
Republicans claim it's illegal, challenging the vote at Virginia's Supreme Court. America's listening to Fox News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10. It is Disco Wednesday. This is Bryce's choice, so Los and I have no control over it. I mean, I guess we could throw a shoe at him or something. Yeah. Like on Austin Powers.
Well, it's a great insult in the Middle East.
No, it is. Remember when they did that to George Bush?
Yeah,
he was standing out there talking. That dude just launched a shoe.
Who throws a shoe?
Really?
It's a great insult.
Dude, it is. And Bush was so quick. He moved, and he had this big ass-eating grin.
He's like, that guy just throw a shoe at me?
That's the truth. I'm the president.
Scared him down a little bit, too.
Yeah, he's
like
like
on a tech in modern day NBA.
He's like, I'm the president. You can't throw a shoe at me, can you? Is that allowed? There's a Secret Service out here. Somebody who's supposed to tackle that guy.
Didn't you see Jeffrey over here pulling his shoe off his foot?
You didn't notice? He reared back. I mean, he came at me like freaking Nolan Ryan.
That's a shoe. It's a shoe.
Somebody pay attention. Goodness, if they can slip a shoe in, bet they can get other weapons in too. Pay attention.
That's why for the remainder of his presidency, George W. Bush never had a press conference where people wore shoes.
Right. He made everybody park them at the door.
Everybody, like you're in some Asian household.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Put on this kimono.
Yeah, we had this. We had these neighbors who were from Morocco, and they the same thing. There was no shoes in the house, and
because if you got upset, you throw it at them.
Could be that. And then it was Victor and Sally who lived there before the family from Morocco, and they were Chinese, and their names were not Victor and Sally. I'm certain of that. But they were the nicest people you ever met in your whole life, and it was the same way. No shoes in the house, and they were. That stuff meant something. You getting your shoes on the carpet, man.
I also informed our boss, our operations manager, that you are going to be out on Friday and through the weekend.
Yes.
Because, and as we're going to push this, because, again,
it's important.
We're pushing our own brand. Tug is going to kick heroin in one weekend.
Yeah. So I'm taking my addiction, and I'm hoping Saturday is when I'll have its ass whooped good.
That's right. Right now, he's grown to a 7-point favorite against heroin.
That's right. So y'all be praying for me.
We were talking about fake addictions that people bring up on radio.
Yes.
We were like, why don't we make up one for you? And we'll just say, because it's not like you kick heroin in a weekend, man.
No, by no means. And we've seen this play out here in Atlanta before, where people use some sort of something to promote whatever they're doing, right? And it's questionable at best, but it got a lot of press, and so we think maybe it's time for us to do it.
Yeah, why not?
That, and we may have a campaign to launch here in the next, couple weeks, I would think.
I'm hoping that this really takes off, that we might get involved in the election in terms of...
the primaries are on the 19th.
Yes.
We got to ramp up potential votes before the 19th, but if worse comes to worse, we get in the runoff, which is June 13th, and... you never can tell what happens. I mean, look, Chris Carr told us that's his strategy.
Listen, Tug and I are running as like the master blaster of Atlanta politics.
That's right.
We are one.
Yes.
There's no master and blaster. It's master blaster.
That's right. Get that right.
We're together.
And who runs it?
Master blaster run by the town.
So good.
Louder.
I love it.
Yeah, I've seen Thunderdome a few times.
A handful. I love the Tina Turner song. I think it may have been "Return to Thunderdome" that she had a huge hit song. I remember singing her.
We don't need another hero.
Yeah, dude.
That's
so
Thunderdome.
Good. Dude, Tina Turner had the best legs in American music history.
Yes.
The only person that approaches that is probably Carrie Underwood, and that's a close second.
I think Tina was way ahead.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tina was by far.
Again, she finished the race, and she's looking back at Carrie Underwood and going like, "You coming along over here?
Come on, like on." Like on Major League.
Yeah.
Come on. That's exactly right.
And you get here when you get here.
Yeah, right. But, man, I remember loving We Don't Need it. She could sing. God, I love Tina Turner. She was so great. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. So stay tuned for all the things. My overcoming of heroin, we'll celebrate that on Monday.
Yes.
And then the office. I guess you call it office. Just the campaign that we're going to launch here in election season.
It's coming after we get through this initial, round of voting in May, and as we start looking towards the midterms, Tug and I are going to launch our campaign.
I love it. So just be watching. We're going to have yard signs and everything.
Yeah, look for the yard signs.
And maybe if we have enough interest, we'll get you a yard sign.
If you want to put one in your front yard,
would you? I guess that's the question. 404-741-1230 at Extra 1063 across the social media platforms. Would you put a Morning Extra yard sign in your yard? I'd just love to know the answer.
And then we have to get together with listener Stephanie, because we have to pick up the fanny pack so that we can basically say, if you put a yard sign, we'll get you a fanny pack.
We have let her down. She went above and beyond, and we've
it's been busy season.
I know it has. I know.
But you and I keep being out of town on stuff.
I know. But
I've got another tournament this weekend.
Yeah, me too. We're out of town this weekend too. Same thing. So, but I feel like she went above and beyond. We need to do better.
I'm just gonna reach out to her one afternoon and be like, "Listen, you and I live in the same general area. Yeah. I'm just gonna meet me at South Forsyth High School."
And she does classic country Saturday nights around a bonfire.
Yep,
dude. I have wanted to go to her classic country Sunday night bonfire or Saturday night bonfire for as long as we've been doing this show, and she's been reaching out. So at some point we'll get it done. 8 o'clock hour. I don't know if I said this or not, but 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. The first thing to know this morning.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Extra, Tug so bold, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
We had talked about this even with Dr. Rich McCormick, and it's something that just, oh my God, flew all over me when I saw it, when I read it. Senator Chris Murphy, when he, on social media, quote tweeted a tweet saying that 20-some ships, cargo ships, whatever, got past the American blockade in the Gulf of Oman and through the Straits of Hormuz. And he quote tweeted it and said, "Awesome." This is the United States senator that is openly cheering for the enemy. A sitting U.S. senator praising the Iranians getting through a blockade conducted by the United States Navy. Now, we learned the entire thing was Iranian propaganda. So, not only did he cheer for them, he fell and promoted their propaganda too. This dude is such an embarrassment to our country, and I swear I think he should resign. I don't think I've ever in the history of this show said somebody should resign from office. This is a reason for him to resign. This is so ridiculous. Even John Fetterman called him out. His own party said, dude, we can't be actively cheering for the enemy. It looks bad for the Democrat Party.
We had a plane that got shot down in an amazing operation that went underway to get both of those pilots out of there. Outside of that, which the Pentagon acknowledged, anytime Iran tells you they did anything, assume it's a lie.
Without a doubt.
We ran the blockade. Yeah. We were getting around the whole embargo. Oh, really?
We're going to blow up the whole United States. They have no idea how many times have we seen that. And we're going to bomb all the Navy ships out there.
But this is the confidence game that Iran right now knows it has an ally. It's not Israel. It's not the rest of the Middle East. It's the American media. And they will parrot anything the Iranians put out there.
I want you to hear what he said his reasoning was. That he decided he was going to cheerlead for the Iranians against the United States Navy, the sailors and Marines that are in the Straits, in the Gulf. This is what he said his reasoning was.
Twitter's become kind of a cesspool. I probably should give up on sarcasm on Twitter. Obviously, anybody that's seen anything that I have said about Trump's war knows that I think it's bungled, mismanaged, and he should end it as quickly as possible. But sarcasm is not something, I guess, that's allowed on Twitter any longer.
Do you regret the post? Are you planning on taking it down, or are you going to keep it out?
I mean, I guess I just have to be more careful about sarcasm on Twitter.
How many times you got to say sarcasm? Who are you trying to convince? Me or you? Are you trying to convince yourself?
The backlash was way too strong.
He knew he stepped in it, and rightfully so. But then there's another step that you may not know about. His policy alignment, his public engagement with the National Iranian American Council, NIAC. He's spoken in front of that group, and he has formulated policy with that group, which is a pro-Iranian organization. Seems odd that he would be aligned with an organization like that and then start talking about the United States Navy the way he did. When I saw this, and I went back and looked it all up to make sure, and sure enough, speaking engagements in front of that organization. So that tells me, oh, I see. There's other reasons that you were maybe cheering for the Iranians there. You have a vested interest in their success.
Well, and there's also, and this is ridiculous as well, when you continue a ceasefire, as this administration, Donald Trump as commander-in-chief, has decided to do, the left is going to attack you for it. If you start dropping bombs, the left is going to attack you for it. Mm-hmm. So you can only do what you feel is in the best interests of our people and our country. What you feel. Because these other clowns, no matter what, are cheering against you to the point where they're willing to cheer for a terrorist state. That's what it really comes down to. I mean, think about it. Right now, the amount of people that are like, see, Donald Trump backed off of bombing them.
Oh, he's scared.
Wait a minute. I thought you were saying that this is a mindless and whatever war because we started bombing them. Oh, bungled.
That's what Chris Murphy said. It's the line he used. It's bungled.
I'm sorry. I lived through the Biden administration.
I know what bungled looks like.
I know what bungled looks like. I know what happens when the teacher's lounge is in charge.
And when there's no plan for an evacuation, actually not having a plan, and then having to admit after the withdrawal from Afghanistan there was no plan. I think what's happening in Iran very different.
I mean, maybe. And this is just a suggestion so that we can really mimic what happened in the previous administration. I think that when we leave that theater, we should probably leave the Iranians with billions of dollars of our own hardware.
Yeah, why don't we just park all the ships that are in there?
And say, those belong to you now.
You can have them.
Have at it.
Yeah, just go. We put your Navy at the bottom of the ocean. We're going to give you ours. Here you go. That's what the Biden administration did. What was it? $89 billion or some crazy number
equipment, yes.
in equipment that we left behind. The best equipment. I mean, surely I would think that they at least destroyed, the sensors inside. They didn't just leave everything intact. Surely, right? Surely? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
That's what the Teachers Lounge does. Now, when this is all over with, and I believe that at some point when we are able to identify who's actually running Iran, well, then this will come to some sort of conclusion, and it will include us leaving with their uranium. That's how this is ending.
Yeah, that's right. It needs to happen.
And do you want it by force, or you want to hand it over? It's up to you.
We'll do either one. We'd rather do it the easy way. And for all the people that said Donald Trump's a warmonger, Donald Trump's going to nuke Iran. Remember when that was a thing like a week ago?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to drop a nuclear weapon.
Drop a nuclear weapon on him.
He said he's going to wipe out civilization. Now he's not doing enough because he's giving peace the chance to take place.
It was 10 days ago when he's going to nuke, and then it turned into, oh wait, they called a ceasefire.
Uh-oh.
And now
it keeps blowing up though. How do they keep falling for it?
And then as we now get into the 11th day, it is, we're not going to continue to hammer you. I told you, we're running out of targets. What are we going to do? Sink the Navy again?
Right.
All right, we're running out of targets. It's now turned into, all right, when y'all figure out who's actually in charge, come back to the table.
And on top of that, do you need to drop another bomb if you completely bankrupt them? If they don't have the ability to do anything financially? They're in financial ruins. Is there a need to drop another bomb?
Let me tell you what has happened in the span of 40-some days. You had a absolute leadership there with the Ayatollahs, that it was absolute, to the point where they sent money around the world, they committed acts of terrorism. What the Ayatollahs said was done, including murdering your own people. It was absolute. 40-some days later, the leadership is so decapitated, no one's in charge.
They have zero idea who's in charge. Remember when we talked about how they had taken the command and control structure, pushed it down, because at the top they had seen what happened in Iraq with the United States when we took out their leadership, and they didn't have any way of fighting back. The Iranians learned from that, to their credit. They pushed all that command and control down. Now you have IRGC members that were mid-level commanders that have the ability to launch drones, launch missiles, and they answer to no one. There's to Los's point is exactly right. There's no one in charge. So it's just a bunch of chaos on the ground that can do whatever they choose at any time they choose.
The only thing I can liken it to that would make a ton of sense, imagine if you were to drop a bomb, take out the entire White House, the entire cabinet, and you got rid of the entirety of Congress to the point where you were looking at, I don't know, the mayor of a small town and trying to figure out, hey, are you next in line? Are you in charge?
Who's the next person that's going to make the decisions?
That is what we're dealing with when it comes to Iran.
Just back to NIAC, the Iranian American advocacy group that Chris Murphy is aligned with, opposes broad sanctions and regime change. They are in alignment, participate, and back his campaign. So just something to throw out there. Maybe you should know about some of the connections he has, and maybe that's why he said what he said. And it wasn't sarcasm at all. Maybe. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the leftists only know they hate Trump when they're asked about Iran. Next on the Morning Extra.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Immaculately designed and manicured backyards can significantly enhance your property's value and visual appeal. And by adding a customized, professionally designed and installed artificial putting green from ATL Turf Co., it'll take your home to the next level. ATL Turf Co.'s custom greens are designed to replicate tournament-level green conditions with realistic ball bounce, roll, and speed, and has a stimp meter of 10 to 12.5. So maybe it's time to consider artificial turf.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turf Co. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Quick question. Are your tires ready for spring rain? If your tread is worn, traction drops fast on wet roads, and stopping distance can increase when you need it most. Right now at Marietta Toyota, they can take care of you because it's the Toyota Tire Savings Event. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for just $1. Get the right tires for your Toyota, installed by factory-trained technicians with road hazard coverage included on eligible tires. Toyota Tire Price Match is available, plus top brands and additional rebates that may be available. Voted Best of Cobb, Best New Car Dealership, Best Dealership Service Center for 2026. You can trust the work. Offer ends April 30th. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Restrictions apply. Valid on participating brands. 4th tire of equal or lesser value. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Everybody is focused on how conflict in the Middle East is raising oil prices, but there is another grim reality to this contention. Oil is not the only resource being constrained. About a third of the global fertilizer trade happens through this region. With spring planting season right on top of us, American farmers are sounding the alarm, with some saying they can't afford to plant their fields. This is a problem. When one piece of the supply chain gets hit this hard, you know what comes next. Higher food prices, reduced availability, maybe even panic buying. We saw this not too long ago. It wasn't pretty. Let's not do it again. Having emergency food at home makes so much sense. PrepareWithGlenn.com. That'll take you right to My Patriot Supply. They're having an emergency food supply sale right now. You'll get a 3-month emergency food supply. They'll include free mega protein upgrade, an incredible $200 bonus that you don't want to miss. Just a simple way to protect your family from whatever might come next. PrepareWithGlenn.com. Get your emergency food supply today. PrepareWithGlenn.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, April 22nd, and here are your headlines. Democrats could gain ground in the race for control of the U.S. House after Virginia voters approved of a redistricting referendum. The measure gives the Democratic-controlled legislature temporary control over drawing congressional maps through 2030, potentially shifting the state's delegation from a 6-5 edge to as much as a 10-1. While it passed, the measure still faces ongoing legal challenges before Virginia's highest court. Governor Brian Kemp is highlighting tax cuts and infrastructure spending as he wraps up his final legislative session. Speaking in Cobb County yesterday, Governor Kemp pointed out more than $1 billion in taxpayer rebates and a temporary suspension of the state gas tax aimed at offsetting rising prices. He also emphasized continued investments in roads and local projects, calling economic growth a partnership between state and local government. And finally, a bomb threat prompted evacuations at multiple middle schools in Oconee County, including North Oconee High and Rocky Branch Elementary. Nearby campuses were placed on lockdown as deputies and emergency crews swept the area. Authorities later gave the all-clear with students and staff returning to class safely. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 52. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Corbett.
Maybe you've missed it. There's a possibility of a campaign that will be launched by the Morning Xtra. And Marty did hear us talking about it, Los, and he said if we did move forward with this, that he wants a yard sign, and he would even wrap his Subaru with the Morning Xtra in our campaign.
Well, that only drives up the value.
Buddy, I'm telling you what.
Probably got a tax deduction on
Yes,
that.
I would
will.
be proud to drive that Subaru.
Well, we need you to wrap your Honda Pilot.
We can wrap solely.
Okay.
Get a promotional, promotional tax cut there.
Yes, absolutely. There's people that do that in town. You see like random cars with unusual wraps. That's because they're paid to do it.
We have talked about how we are interested in lowering your taxes.
Yes.
And that's one of our promises. We will only talk to politicians, and when we talk to them, we will ask them, what are they going to do to lower your taxes?
That's the one thing that we want to know.
That is the promise that we make to you when we run.
That is our heart for you.
That's right.
We're doing Taylor Swift hearts for you on YouTube. And Bryce says somebody in the YouTube chat is open to supporting our campaign if we decide to go this route.
Thank you, chat.
Would this make Kimmer our VP?
No, he has no part in this.
He needs a leg.
Yeah, he's got other fish to fry.
He's got things he's got going on. No, maybe he could be the sergeant at arms. Maybe possibility. We think about it.
Just saying, with what we're running for,
I know
there's no way that Kimmer can take part.
I know that, but I'd love to have him involved. Maybe he could, just be a lookout or something.
Or he could be a mentor,
guard the door, even.
He could play Obama's role.
Yes, he's just kind of in the background, puppet strings.
That's right.
Making Tug and I say whatever he wants to. I think we already talk about, oh my God!
It's like, remember those jib jabs?
Yes.
Remember that?
Those are popular?
Yes, that was like, what's it, like 10 years ago?
Oh,
maybe a little longer.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
That was like early internet animation.
It sure was, man. The jib jabs. If you look them up, if you don't remember them.
Did all those that's how my grandpa would send us Christmas cards.
Yep.
Jib jabs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jib jabs were so cool back in the day.
Yeah, the grandparents thought they were the coolest thing.
That was AI before AI.
I guess so. I guess you're right. So anyway, if it works out the way that we hope that it works out, then we'll start getting some
get your yard sign.
Maybe we'll get some cars wrapped. You just can't never tell. Maybe there will be some billboards. I don't know. I don't know what's available.
It's been a while.
It has. We've not had a billboard in some time.
Yeah.
We did for a long time, sporadically, specifically there at Roswell Road. What is that? Roswell, exit 6, whatever this is. Northridge, I guess?
Northridge.
Yeah, and Roswell Road, bam, always.
Used to have people send me random pictures of it. I'm like, yep, that's the billboard.
How you doing? I'd never been on a billboard.
Were you on it?
Yeah.
There was that one, and then there was the one down the street. Just as you got past Cumberland.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, there was
that was the other one that I would get random pictures of from my friends. Like, I saw your billboard.
Like,
thanks.
Are you on a billboard?
Yeah.
People would always ask, and it was always a huge question mark. Like, why would they put you on a billboard?
I loved being able to tell my family and my friends, I'm like, yes, I left sports so that half the listeners would hate me, and it got me on a billboard. It's awesome.
It's unusual. It's unusual the way things shake out in life sometimes.
Now everybody, half the people in Tug's world hate him, but he's on a billboard.
Yeah. It softens the blow a little bit, They're like,
But you're in a rare club, the Billboard Club.
Yeah, I'd never had it happen before, ever.
And that's the joke of all of it. After 20 years of Tug, even being award nominated, I've been up for Marconi's.
Yeah.
Never been on a billboard.
Start talking politics.
Billboard.
Put 'em up there right now.
Billboard.
So we become billboard material. With like swimsuit models, you have to be really pretty. You have to have be photogenic. Not us.
Nope.
I mean, we look like goons up there.
Yeah. We look like the people that you send into a hockey game to go rough some people up.
That's right.
Can he skate? No, but he can fight.
That's right. Happy Gilmore style. That's what it was. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Maybe one day they'll put us back up there. Because we do expose people that don't know anything, Los. And there's so many people out there that don't know their backside from a hole in the ground.
I enjoyed this from Caitlin Bennett. This was a fun piece of video. If you get a chance, go check it out. You can just search Caitlin Bennett. It'll pop up. It's been shared by plenty of people. And what she was doing was man on the street bit, microphone, piece of paper, asking people questions. And what she was doing intentionally was reading quotes from Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton for examples on Iran. But she would set up the people on the street by really feeding into their TDS. They'd start stoking them all up on Trump. And then when she would start reading, they're ready to comment.
Yeah.
And then that's when she would drop the hammer. These people don't have social media. That's the only answer for this because
they've never seen it before.
They've never seen it before. They don't understand these quotes. So many of these things. What do we have? This was several weeks ago, and one of the callers was like, Donald Trump has said 1,000 times we've won.
Oh, yeah. Andrew, I think his name was.
Who knows? He changes his name up all the time. But I was like, listen, I'm on social media every single day for my job. I see everything that comes across any of the news desks and any of the news outlets. I'm telling you that it hasn't been said one time, let alone 1,000.
And when we challenged him on that,
then couldn't answer.
I was like, surely you have one, right? And then Los went to and looked it up. It was like, give me one example of Trump saying the war is won. Zero.
Not one post, not one clip, not one, any of that stuff. So when you start saying that, hey, Donald Trump said this, I would go, I don't know if he said that. Take a listen.
Iran is a destabilizing, dangerous force in the Middle East. Do you agree with him on that at least?
No.
We would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that. And what do you think he meant by saying those people?
White supremacy. His subhuman people of color.
He's becoming very delusional and honestly showing a little bit of signs of dementia.
This is something someone with dementia would say.
Absolutely.
Had Kamala actually won the election, you think we would even be in this?
Absolutely not.
And they were not falling for this Iran stuff either.
No.
If Hillary Clinton had just won in the first place, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah, I would go with that.
If he had a kind soul, I think anyone can be beautiful, but he's not beautiful. No. He's not beautiful inside or out. He's a horrible person.
Did you vote for Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Did you guys vote for Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
We would not be in this position if she were president today.
Or Kamala.
The man truly is insane.
Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris said all of that, not Donald Trump.
Really?
Yes.
That makes me very sad.
Are you serious or not?
Yes, they are.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's a gotcha. Good for you.
You've never heard them say this stuff?
No, I haven't.
That was a quote from 2008, right here.
To it. I don't, you know what, who can believe what we read?
Did you go to the cops about me?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you needed a permit.
I didn't mean to make you cry.
Crying, but it's shameful.
What's shameful about it? There's nothing...
This is shameful.
The guy goes looking over for police help.
Please come arrest her. She's made us sad.
He goes to make sure that, now keep in mind, she's not protesting.
No.
She doesn't need a permit.
She's just
jackwagon.
She's just talking to you.
Does she have a permit?
Yeah.
You don't need one.
It's like us having a permit this morning. I don't need a permit to talk to Los. I don't need a permit to talk to Bryce or anybody that calls in.
Silly.
Absurd.
But it's so funny to hear when you feed them this information.
Yeah. He has no soul.
This is no different than what we saw on college campuses.
Yeah.
The same game,
Yep.
but this time it's actual adults, and they're just as clueless.
But then, if you drag them on in, and then you tell them, and you let them know, hey, you realize that it was your guy that said all this. What do? They melt down. That's shameful. You're awful. I can't believe you're out here doing this. Well, wouldn't you want to know? I mean, like, if I'm voting for somebody and I don't know, the policies that they represent, I've only been told what the media says. Would you not want to know?
I don't think they would.
I tend to agree with you, Bryce.
Because I think you're going to get those answers and you're going to hear, oh, that was them, but they're not going to go home and search it up for themselves. They're going to believe what they believe.
And that's what the lady said. She said, well, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Well, okay, fair point.
I'm so glad that young Bryce has been sitting here long enough to be able to pick out what a Norm and Norma sound like. And when I tell you, they exist on the other side as well.
Yeah.
It's not just our side. It is, they have been given so much drivel that they'll believe anything they're told without looking into it for themselves.
And it's been happening for a decade. Can you imagine? Imagine the things that people like them believe that just isn't so. I bet they believe the suckers and losers hoax. I bet they still believe the Russiagate hoax. They still believe that all the felony charges should have stuck.
We haven't even gotten a chance to touch on this. But we now are going to have a case against the Southern Poverty Law Center where they were filtering money to organize the Unite the Right. Remember the rally
in Charlottesville
that got Joe Biden to enter the race?
That was his quote?
It was all done by Democrats. You know why? Because you don't routinely have white supremacists in the streets unless they're created and bought and paid for by the very Democrats they typically represent.
So they paid for racism to be able to raise off racism, to give themselves a purpose. That's how fake and flimsy they are.
They're the arsonist that shows up as the firefighter.
That's exactly right. And Joe Biden, that's why I decided to run. That's exactly what he said. It was Charlottesville that Joe Biden felt so strongly about that he got into the race.
So if you were to tell Aunt Peg that all of that to the tune of more than $3 million was all put together by the Southern Poverty Law Center to pay these various groups to show up, when do you think she's going to hear about that? Because it hasn't been on MS now.
Never.
Not one bit.
She'll never hear about it. And then on top of it, once you tell her about it, just like Bryce so astutely pointed out, she wouldn't want to know the truth anyway.
Yeah.
We'll dig a little deeper into it.
She wouldn't want to know.
She wouldn't want to know. She wouldn't. She would say the exact same thing. You heard that? Well, you can't believe everything here. Yeah, okay. Thank you. You stay there, boy. I'm telling you what, you are of value to me.
It's just a federal indictment.
Yeah, nothing to see.
Based on what their proof is.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing. It's just
totally fine.
And you know what? I bet Aunt Peg still believes that Donald Trump didn't actually get shot. I bet that is something my sweet Aunt Peg believes.
Yeah, that is now percolating once again from CNN. That is now they're trying to spin it when it comes to CNN as, well, there are those on the right. Like, did you manage to find somebody out there? I'm like, because I know I've only heard this from one side, and it's your own. Yeah, these people have gone on television to tell everyone that this was all put together by the Trump campaign. And in fact, that you had additional people shot, one killed.
Not enough. Not convincing to me.
They still think it was fake.
Well, AI is really good, and you can't believe everything you see on the internet. You can't believe everything you see on TV.
You just don't want to believe everything that you read about.
Or maybe you're just that brainwashed over the last decade that Donald Trump is so evil that if it did happen, it's because he's evil. And if it didn't happen, it's because he's evil and he's trying to convince you.
Let me tell you what's much more of a reality situation. That one of the only rallies that CNN took live was that one. And do you wonder why?
I don't know.
Does it seem kind of strange? A company, a network that would not put on Donald Trump.
And went on and said it. Yeah, them and MS now, they're like, no, we're not putting that on. That's misinformation. That's malinformation. We're not giving him our platform.
Made it a point to put that on live.
We're talking about conspiracy theories. At least this one's believable.
Ask that question.
Yeah.
As if somebody had been tipped off as to something that was going to happen, and it probably wasn't the Trump administration or the Trump team that said, hey, make sure you tune in. We're going to shoot our guy.
We're going to get him, and everybody's going to see it. It's going to change the course of history. Do not miss it. It's must-see TV. And sure enough,
it did win the election, so
yeah, it did do that.
Sucks for y'all, lefties.
Yeah, they got it exactly what they asked for.
You created an iconic image by which the man then ended up not only destroying you when it came to the Electoral College, but also in the popular vote. You created the image. I keep trying to tell these people, it's not Tug and I. We didn't do any of this stuff. You all did.
Back it up. The mugshot. They created that.
They created it.
They're like, we've got him.
We didn't do any of it. There is no, Donald Trump was dead in the water in 2022, 2023. There was no campaign to speak of. And then they started the lawfare. And by the time that the lawfare, that sped everything up. Ron DeSantis was in front, if not equal, with Trump during that time period.
I think he was in front. I think you're right.
And yet, when the lawfare started and the mugshots, by the time we got to Butler, Pennsylvania, he won the election because someone decided to pull detail and give it over to Joe Biden and not pay attention to some young idiot up on a roof. And now you're pretending like that young idiot didn't shoot him?
Yeah. You push people too far. It's the same way with immigration, with the same thing that we were talking about the other day with the whole Haitian, the 350,000 Haitians. Had they not pushed so hard to the left, people probably wouldn't even have batted an eye at it. But they allowed 20 million people, if not more, into the country, and people have had enough. It's the same way. They went after him with that lawfare, and they saw it over and over and over again. And they're like, I've had enough of this.
The administration raided his house. Had you just left him alone,
he would have stayed DIW, dead in the water. He would have stayed there. Instead, there's a picture of that same mugshot because he understands the value of it. It's hanging in the White House in the Oval Office as you go in.
You only have to deal with about 3 more years of it.
No worries. You'll be fine. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the next Supreme Court Justice, well, it may just be a doozy. Next on the Morning Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, April 22nd. The Atlanta Braves, their 6-game winning streak is now over after dropping Game 2 of their 4-game series in D.C. last night to the Nationals. 11-4 the final. Game 3 of the series begins at 6:45 this evening. It'll be Martin Perez making the start against Zach Lytle on the mound. You can hear all the game action on our sister stations, 680 The Fan, and free on the Fan app. The NFL Draft goes down tomorrow night. No first-round picks for the Atlanta Falcons this year, as the team will pick early in the second round unless they choose to move up in that draft via trade. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will be the host for this year's event. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing: someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Madelon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
You've worked hard to build your investments, but are they positioned the right way from a tax perspective? Because it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Many investors don't realize that their portfolios may be creating unnecessary tax exposure. Capital gains, required minimum distributions, inefficient account placement can quietly reduce your returns, especially as you approach retirement. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we help clients evaluate whether their investments are structured in a tax-efficient way, looking beyond performance to understand how taxes impact income today and your legacy tomorrow. Are your assets in the right accounts? Are there opportunities to reduce further tax liability? Is your strategy aligned with your long-term retirement goals? Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 678-990-8500. Schedule a complimentary review. That's 678-990-8500, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you keep more of what you've worked so hard to build.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
In a time when everything feels political, one place must rise above it all: the courtroom. where the law rules and integrity matters. In 2020, Georgians came together, electing a justice who believes in protecting our courts.
I'm Georgia Supreme Court Justice Sarah Warren, and here's what I believe. I believe in the rule of law, the separation of powers, and a judge's limited role to interpret the law as written. I believe in a nonpartisan judiciary, impartial judges who don't advocate for political positions or outcomes. I believe in deciding cases without bias or favor, treating everyone with dignity and respect. As a justice on your Supreme Court, I've upheld these values. With your support, we'll maintain the integrity of our courts.
Vote to re-elect Justice Sarah Warren. Vote early starting April 27th or on Election Day, May 19th. Paid for by Georgians for Justice Warren, Inc.
Hi, it's Glenn, and I want to ask you a question. How many insurance brokers does it take to protect your business? If you're like me or most business owners, the answer is way too many of them. Multiple policies, multiple applications, and no clear view of how all of it fits together. So when questions come up, it's not easy to get the clarity you need. Super Sure is going to change all that. One broker for all of your business insurance, backed by a team that works with you year-round, not just at renewal. If you've ever stared at a policy wondering what it actually covers, Super Sure has a fine print facts tool that translates all that legal crap into plain English so you know what's covered and what's not. Right now, you can go to supersure.com and get a full report on your current policies. No obligation. Find out if you're overinsured or underinsured or somewhere in between. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All of your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Need a break from all the political talk? Tune into Holy Crap It's Sports with Pete Davis every weekday at 5:20 on The Kimmer Show. It's your daily dose of what's hot in the sports world, from the field to the locker room, with Pete's unfiltered opinion and a side of laughs. It's smart, it's funny, it's sports with edge. Holy Crap It's Sports. Catch it at 5:15 only on The Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3.
Country call out to Roger. He's our seminar caller. Hope you're doing well, pal. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I just had the biggest smile on my face. I couldn't wipe it off my face.
It's a heroin.
Yeah, well, I'm going to kick that this weekend. Man.
That's right.
It's done.
He just plugged himself between the toes, and now he's happy.
This Saturday, it is going to be on, and I'm going to kick it. And by Monday, I'll be back and normal and good.
This is going to just take a moment to say that when any of these other radio shows have ever promoted themselves in the weirdest way by talking about addictions that they were going to deal with over the weekend, right. We're giving it a try.
Yeah, which might as well. Let's see.
Nothing seems more detrimental than an opioid addiction.
Yeah, especially the way you inject it. I mean, that's a lot there.
Tug is like, I'm getting rid of the H.
That's right. Done with it.
I'm shocked you started, to be honest.
Well, it was.
It was for a radio promotion.
It was,
and then it just went out of hand.
And I couldn't let it go. Been at it for so many years now. You know, it's wearing and tearing on me. So finally, Saturday, I'm going to whip his ass.
His doctor said you need to stop doing this.
Have you thought about stopping heroin? He's like, maybe you should get watch your diet a little more. Maybe get a little more exercise. Kick the heroin habit, and I think you'll be in good shape, man. You're looking good. What else? Is there anything else? So Saturday it'll be done, and then Monday I'll explain how I was able to wrestle it to the ground.
That's right. He hit rock bottom by having to sell his truck.
That's right. For sale signs on it right now. It's handwritten. It's not official.
He knew he had to quit when he backed into the fence.
Actually,
yeah,
you're not wrong about that. I knew I needed something. Something had really gone wrong when I backed in that fence and did $3,000 worth of damage to my truck.
Man,
dude, that's the true story. Absolutely true story.
And you get a backup camera.
I have a backup camera.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not as good. It's a 2018, so it's grainy. You miss fences.
My vehicle is, what do I have? Put it this way, it's not anywhere near as good as my wife's. It has
I'm sure.
Her 2024.
Yeah.
Different level of camera.
Dude, and the technology package there, I'm sure, is so fantastic. I'm not kidding. I'll occasionally, because I've just got an old GMC Sierra pickup truck. I mean, I love it. It's a cool truck, but we're just under 100,000 miles.
It's red.
It's red. It's Georgia Bulldog red. And I go back there occasionally, and I'll just take a napkin and try to clean that little camera, hoping it'll get just the slightest bit better and not be quite as grainy as it used to be.
I go back there with a napkin.
Wipe it out.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I'll dab it on my tongue, just get a little moist. That way you can just clean it out good. Anyway, that was not what put the smile on my face, although kicking heroin will be nice. What put the biggest smile on my face was what Axios is reporting about Ron DeSantis. We've talked about how much we admire Ron DeSantis on this show. He would have made a great president, and we would have been just fine with him being president. We do have a listener that got mad at us because he said we were cheering for Trump the whole time, and that was just not the case.
We just kept telling him that DeSantis has had his opportunity, but he's not gaining traction.
And didn't. But DeSantis has turned into the best governor in America. The best, in my opinion. The best.
Done.
Gets S done. Now, Axios is reporting that when his days of being governor are over, he wants to be a Supreme Court justice.
Man.
He has been talking with Clarence Thomas. He said there's a couple jobs that he's interested in. That's not exactly where he started. He just said, I'm not interested in being Attorney General. A Secretary of War, maybe down the road. I would be interested in something like that. He's got a military background. But he says Supreme Court would be his dream job. Conservative Clarence Thomas had been talking with DeSantis. They almost have a father-son-like relationship, and that would be one heck of a legacy for Donald Trump. Quote, that was a quote that came from Axios. Dude, we could not get a better Supreme Court justice than Ron DeSantis. Not one.
And I believe that when we start talking about impact, obviously being a governor of the state of Florida, he's had a major impact.
That's right.
Gotten him through many of storms, many of crazy situations. He's also turned Florida blood red, which at one point, remember, we always had to see as one of those toss-up states. What's going to happen in Florida? Well, now you don't have to worry about it. That's Florida is blood red.
Red.
And great economy, the amount of people that are moving there, and yet it still stays blood red. But long term, maybe more important than having an outside chance at being the president, Supreme Court justice would have a long-lasting impact.
He would have the impact across the country that he does in Florida.
It's like a 30-year impact.
Lifelong appointment.
I mean, there's a reason why when some of the names have been floated out there, and it's been himself and Ted Cruz. Those are two that you start rubbing your hands together going, oh, because let's face it, Clarence Thomas has been on the bench since the Clinton administration. And what you don't want to have happen is what happened during Trump's first tenure. When they all thought, listen, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she works out every day.
Yeah.
Croaked.
Yeah.
And boom, here comes another conservative. Or at least somebody who's conservative leaning.
Yeah.
So at some point during this administration, you'd like, if Clarence Thomas is considering it, it's getting to be about that time.
He's 77.
To retire. And man, that Ron DeSantis, I'd be rubbing my hands together.
Absolutely right. I could not wipe the smile off my face.
And by the way, when you happen to get him in front of the Senate, and of course they'll do all their dirty games. That's how they're going to play. Your angle of attack is going to be, so your wife had cancer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the military, huh?
Yep.
So you managed to make Florida successful, huh?
There's a lot of boxes to check in the affirmative.
Yeah. It's like, go ahead. Show me what you're going to do.
Dude, I think, and I love Ted Cruz. Ron DeSantis would be the grand slam. And I don't know, who knows what is coming down the pike, but if he and Clarence Thomas have that kind of relationship, I would imagine that Clarence Thomas goes, here's what I'm looking at. Because remember we talked to Neil Bortz the other day, and he said, or he specifically said, I'm kind of out of the game. I knew when I was ready to quit, retire. I knew. I had an idea when that was coming for me. Because when you get to that age, you're like, okay, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to slow down. I'm ready to do what Neil does. He and the Queen traveled the U.S. They have done everything they can to benefit this great country, and talking about it, pointing it out, the things that matter. I guarantee you Clarence Thomas has done the same thing. And if he has that relationship with DeSantis, he goes, what if I could just pass it off to you?
And when that man puts his shield down, that's going to require a whole lot of salutes.
Yes, it is.
Clarence Thomas has been
the greatest
warrior.
The greatest.
When it comes to conservative politics, personal responsibility, the Constitution, the rule of law.
No one finer than Clarence Thomas in my book. I hope he would never goes, but I know at some point it's just life, and we're going to have to give him up. But if we could get Ron DeSantis in there doing that, picking up that shield that Los talked about, it would be a win. It would be a win for America. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Don't be bummed about the vote in Virginia, because May is coming. Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, this has actually been fun. Now, I will tell you that maybe 40 years ago, in the first quarter of my talk radio career, I would get bothered by death threats. I couldn't believe it. Somebody out there wishing I was dead because of something I said on the radio. Then later on, I started to be amused by them, and in the last of my years on the radio, I got concerned if I didn't get death threats, because that means I wasn't doing an effective job. Lately, I have also been amused by how absolutely unhinged and violent lefties have become after Donald Trump was inaugurated president. Now, I put this up on Facebook yesterday morning. I think it was perfectly innocuous. It was a good question that should bring interesting responses. I wrote, here's a little exercise for you. Write down on a piece of paper a price per gallon of gasoline beyond which you think that we should go ahead and allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. That's it. Now, most of the responses were reasonable. But can you believe it? That brought forth death threats. I got quite a few comments on that. I thought you were dead by now. Too bad you aren't. Or, I hope your grandchildren get drafted. What are you still doing alive? My friends, these are demented lunatics. These aren't people offering cogent responses to a question. They're crazy. Their hatred of Donald Trump have completely warped their minds. I would like to point out to you at this time that there is no right to vote in a presidential election in our country. None. That shows how wise our founding fathers were. Now let's take our ability to restrict who gets to vote and put it to work. You know where. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies, like the Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space, or the Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice. Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Iran is disrupting more shipping.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Just hours after President Trump extended the ceasefire to Iran indefinitely, it appears that Iran is already breaking it, opening fire on at least 3 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and commandeering 2 of them.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House, where there's no Trump reaction yet.
Iran's state broadcaster says the 2 vessels are currently inside Iran's territorial waters, being held for inspection of their cargo, documentation, and related records.
This comes days after the U.S. military took control of an Iranian cargo ship trying to evade the American blockade still in place around Iran's ports. 28 ships have been turned away. The president extended the ceasefire to give Iran time in the negotiations, trying to work out a deal to end the conflict. And now, an update on the attempts to stop Russia's war in Ukraine.
Ukraine's top diplomat says a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin could inject new momentum into the peace process. More than 4 years after the full-scale invasion, it would be the 2 leaders' first in-person summit. Kyiv is asking Turkey to facilitate the talks. President Zelensky has accepted an unconditional ceasefire demanded by President Trump, but the Kremlin has refused.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Virginia Republicans hope the state Supreme Court undoes what voters did yesterday, challenging the approval of a congressional redistricting that could flip 4 seats Democrat in the November elections.
Democrats say the redistricting effort is a check on President Trump's push for GOP states to redraw their maps. Former President Obama saying, "Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back."
Fox's Madeline Rivera. A rock and roll Hall of Famer is being mourned. That's Dave Mason, who wrote that song for Traffic, a band inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall in 2004. He also had solo hits like We Just Disagree. Dave Mason died over the weekend at 79. America's listening to Fox News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage that big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You may know Bortz is back, but not everyone else does. Tell anyone who loves America, Bortz is back on the radio in Atlanta, and his new home is Extra 106.3. Listen to him now on the Extra 106.3 app.
Buddy, we're clubbing this morning. Morning Extra. Can't stop shaking my shoulders. Moving my hips. Getting them feet going. Disco is what Bryce loves, and he's brought it to the show, and every Wednesday he showcases some of his favorite disco songs, and God bless him for it.
You may not kind of imagine it, but it does happen. Every now and then Tug feels that power. He just starts dancing.
Dude, all the time.
He just chair dances.
Dude, all you have to roller rink right now.
Yeah, dude, all you have to do is move your shoulders a little bit, hold up your hands, move your shoulders.
Yeah,
let's get into it a little bit.
I'm telling you, it doesn't hit me the same way.
Music just hits me. It doesn't matter what it is, man. It could be like Bad Bunny, and I don't listen to Bad Bunny per se, but if it was on, I'd feel that. Yeah. Unless it was without the beat behind it. Yeah. Yeah. But Los found a video of him without the music behind him, and that's what it sounded like.
It was only playing in his IFB?
In his monitors, yeah.
So he could hear the music in his monitors,
but nobody else
performing.
Could.
Nobody else could hear the music, and so it was just him and his noises.
Just a bunch of hollering. That's what it sounded like.
It wasn't even. It sounded like somebody beating a seal.
Take that, damn seal! Get up! Oh! Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough.
No doubt. But I'm just saying, knowing what I know, even if they were to put that on and it had the music in it, and it's here it is.
I told you.
I could be a star too. Dude, that sounds almost a little bit like the Marine Corps, like when they're marching. You know, the calls that Kimmer uses in the afternoon when he's lining up the formation.
Get bad Kimmer?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So it sounds a little bit. So it sounds like. But my point is, even if you were to do that, that Spanish beat that always pops up, I can move my shoulders to that too a little bit.
Okay.
I got no rhythm whatsoever. I got the whitest dude. I mean, Elmer's glue style rhythm.
Elmer's glue
it's
style
that white.
rhythm. Love it.
It's that white. But I can't help it, man. You just move your shoulders. You can't help it.
I just like when you do your I'm dancing, and their hands come together. He's just
whatever that's called.
I have no idea, but it's funny every time you do it.
I've seen Bart Simpson do it before, so I think that's where I got it from. But
it's like almost this derivative of clogging.
Yes,
what you're doing.
it is. Which my Aunt Vicky was a great clogger.
Okay,
I mean she was so pretty in the clogging outfit because it's a particular look, very Southern, very I guess Appalachian too, and I was always impressed by it, just how they're synchronized they are. And I know clogging ain't people don't just love clogging like I did because I grew up on it, but I like it. I think it's so cool, and I know, like, probably people look at it, they're like, "Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, a bunch of hillbillies." I have an affinity for it. I like it.
I hope that one day young Bryce tells some young lady, "Why don't we go clogging?" Because that's how he's trying to end the relationship.
That's right. So don't do it right now, with your new sweetheart.
But if you need to put an end to it,
like if she starts acting a fool,
say, "I'm taking up clogging, and I think you should come along."
And you get the tap shoes to go along with it. I mean, there were boy cloggers too.
I think I could clog.
You do?
I think I could do it.
Okay.
Take a little bit to learn, but
I think more than a little bit. I think it's it's like tap. I think it's a little more challenging.
It's impressive that people do it really well.
Have you ever seen those? At least in videos, I've never seen it up close in real life. But those people that tap so fast they look like they're gliding.
Yeah, they're
dude,
just floating.
That's unbelievable,
pretty
man.
Cool. I
don't know how they do it. I don't understand it. And Bryce says he thinks he can and is going to get it. So if you love the music, it's Bryce's choice, and we're happy to have him play.
It's an offer so far for me.
Just a day, or just like altogether since he started?
Just the day.
Yeah. What was that?
Yesterday was great.
What was the last one you threw in?
So much Say Goodbye by Gloria Gaynor.
Okay.
So much great country music yesterday.
Yeah, it was good.
Monday started off. We were on fire.
Yep.
Thursday and my Wednesday disco day. It's just it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss for me.
Okay.
So there's some disco that.
So I got to do better.
Well, yeah. That's.
But I can't describe for you what's going to make it happen for me.
It is one of those things where it's just got to hit right at the right time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nothing on you. It's not like I'm telling you, hey, play more Def Leppard. It's like there's sometimes when
it works, and sometimes
I'm all for disco, and there's other times where I'm like,
yeah. I just like the beat. I like the rhythm of it. I don't necessarily love all the songs.
Maybe it needs to be like Selective Disco Wednesday.
I mean, okay. Yeah.
No,
listen, every Wednesday thing.
Listen, the energy's good.
No, it is. It is. Yeah. I think we'll stick with it.
I messed up today because I forgot our Bon Jovi halfway through the week.
Well, that's all right. We'll keep. We'll just.
That's a demerit.
Put it on the record.
That's right.
That's going on your permanent record,
dude. You never get that off there either, and they'll hang that over your head the rest of your life. Isn't that crazy? The fact that they used to try to hang that over our head at school. This is going on your permanent record.
It's like my note hitter.
Yes.
You guys just mark it down and bring it up.
But that's a good one. That's an important one to bring up.
I'm just going to, every now and then, as this show continues, like it'll be like a month or two from now, and be like, so, young Bryce, you remember what happened April 22nd, don't you?
Yeah. Remember?
Demerit.
That's right. Today's the day that you stepped in it, sir.
Remember when you got that demerit?
Yeah, it was so bad when you messed up the Bon Jovi thing. God. And you got to find like a funky version of Living on a Prayer, because I mean, it's not disco. That's the other thing. I mean, you got to think about all this stuff. It's important.
I'll find something.
I floated business time because it's Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Making
nobody has gone with this for me.
No, well. And if you've got some suggestions, 404-741.
Just saying, last segment of the show.
Yep. Sweet, sweet lovin'. That's what we're looking for, the final segment of the show. I can't believe it's 9 o'clock and things are already off. We've been off the rails kind of all morning.
We've been off the rails all week.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I'm glad. I think it's more fun when we're off the rails a little bit. So let's get to the first thing to know this morning on Extra 106.3.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high. Man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
He made it.
Put a boot in
That's
your
right. He
hand,
did make
courtesy
it.
of the Morning
Good,
Xtra.
strong Tug from Dalton, Georgia. That's what his family says about him all the time. He made it.
Wonder if he'll loan me $10.
He lives in Alpharetta with all the fancy folk.
That's right.
So I get it. If you want to be bummed about what has gone on in Virginia,
I am, because I was so disappointed that everybody knew what was happening. Did you see the way that they laid out the question on the ballot?
Yes.
Would you like to make elections fair? Was basically the layout.
Yes. Would you like to make elections fair?
Yes or no? No. Who's choosing no with that?
If I mark no, is that a good idea?
Yeah, of course it isn't.
Yes, between the structure, between the question, between the fact that you had an election at the end of April, it was 70,000 votes. It was a lot tighter than what the Democrats believed was going to happen. Now, here's where I'm telling you, chin up.
It's going to be okay.
Chin up. Everything's going to be fine. Because at some point, you're going to have, and this is going to start next week, once Virginia did what it did, it doesn't mean because of the way that they did it, it's going to end up passing through the court system. In fact, I'm willing to bet it heads to court here in the next couple of weeks, and then that's going to play out as well. So we'll see when their redistricting becomes legal. Also, keep in mind, you do have a Supreme Court case based on the Civil Rights Act that may get so much of this gerrymandering out of these blue states, because many of them are built on color. They're built on race, which if the Supreme Court rules accordingly and that goes out the window, that's going to be a ton of seats. But most importantly, to the rescue is the state of Florida.
We just talked about last segment how great Ron DeSantis has done, so that puts him in a position to rescue.
Florida will be in a special session starting next week. And what is their proposal? Well, let's see what happens in Virginia, and then we'll act accordingly. Now, Florida, their laws actually are far less complicated to get this thing done. And what would they be adding? Looks like 5 Republican seats. So Virginia, I think, is going to be mired. They're going to be they're going to be in a mess over this thing, I believe, for the next several months. And again, the Supreme Court looming with their decision. Florida is going to add 5.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll have much of a problem doing it.
No, I don't think so either. But it is disappointing, the map. If you look at it, you're just like, holy cow. You basically took the entire, you would say the entire western part of the state of Virginia, and you said, y'all don't matter. We don't care what y'all think. We're going to temporarily remove your importance to this state and your vote from this state. So that part of it's ugly. And then on top of it, you had Spanberger, who immediately, when she was running, said, "No, I don't want to change any of the districts or anything." What the first thing she did when she got put in office, when she got elected, was do it anyway.
Well, let's also point out in the state of Virginia, their constitution in their state requires redistricting to be looked at every 10 years with the census. The fact that this was done in 2026 actually violates their state constitution. So that's why I'm telling you, this is going to end up being a mess. Whereas I don't think we're going to have one issue
down in
with
Florida.
whatever Florida proposes.
Yeah, right. And then, there's other states looking at it too. I mean, Texas just realigned some things. I think we'll be fine. I'm with you. It doesn't scare me necessarily, but what it does is makes me go, I see the game. They've been playing this game for years and years and years, and conservatives are just now Republicans just now picking up.
Well, they can't beat you consistently at the ballot box. There has to be games. There has to be gaming the system.
Yep.
It's just what it is at this point. And so I know your argument can always be like, well, look, we won by 70,000 votes in an election in April.
Yeah. When most people didn't understand what they were voting for. Most people don't show up for those off year elections like that, And then on top of that, the way you phrase, do you want to make this fair, yes or no?
Your governor won less than a year ago and is already the most unpopular governor in state history. It wasn't even an off-year election as much as it was, all right, well, we're going to have election here in 2025.
How many people even knew it was happening? You and I know. You listening, you know, because you pay attention. How many people in Virginia would you think, actually knew that there was an even election going on? Or if they did, if they had heard about it, understood what they were voting for to begin with?
And the strange part about it is that being that this was the primary goal of the governor, how somebody as unpopular as she is didn't have more of a backlash, which, again, we are talking about what was on the ballot being misleading and done in a time period that's not supposed to happen according to their state constitution.
So you have to wait and see. There's hope. So if you're off put by it, realize there's hope, and that's a good. I feel like that's what we do well, is bring some sort of, hey, here's the silver lining. Here's how we can potentially do better because of it. Or in spite of it.
This is not a decided issue.
That's right.
Is basically what I'm going to point out. You will have those on the left that'll be, having some sort of weird celebratory moment. Just know that based on the law, which is typically what I go to for this, there's going to be some legal challenges that are pretty legitimate. And if it does survive those, you still have the Supreme Court that's going to be making this ruling that the gerrymandering based on race, which was done in that state, is going to get thrown out the window if that portion of the Civil Rights Act gets thrown out.
Hope is available for you if you choose to look for it. And Los just laid it out so nicely. I was surprised to see Donald Trump get a compliment, because it normally don't happen. I don't agree with Jon Stewart very often, but he's a guy that I feel like where it matters, when it comes to our men and women in uniform, where it comes to our veterans, that he does the right thing. Even though we don't see eye to eye, we probably are at odds more than we're together. But in this instance, Jon Stewart did probably something that Democrats are not supposed to do.
I want to give credit to Jon Stewart. In a time where, especially when it comes to late night comedy and the comedy shows, whether it's the Colberts of the world or the Jimmy Kimmels, I thought a really good description was put forward on one of the other shows where it said, these people have gotten so serious about politics, they almost seem annoyed with being funny. Like they're above it.
Yeah. You mongrels down there.
I don't need to do comedy anymore. I'm so much more important than that.
That's right.
Well, Jon Stewart is still mixing the two, and I think he does it pretty well. Well, this is Jon Stewart, part of The Daily Show. He's still doing, I think, one show a week, and he is talking about Ibogaine. Now, I've said it 100 times. Ibogaine. Tug has gotten used to it.
Ibogaine.
Tug's like, Ibogaine.
But I didn't know in the beginning. When you first brought it, I was like, tell me what that is again.
When I first brought it to Tug's attention, to Tug's credit, he was like, no, lay it out for me. I don't know. And then everything, over the next 3 weeks took off.
That's right.
So I felt like I was giving you a little piece of the future.
Well, I appreciate you doing that, too.
Las Vegas was laying out the numbers for you. But I want you to hear Jon Stewart. This is a compliment for Donald Trump, albeit backhanded, but a funny one.
Yes, it is.
But ladies and gentlemen, I want to start the program tonight in a slightly different place. I want to give credit where credit is due. We don't obviously often do this. The president did a solid over the weekend. President Trump signed an executive order in front of his fraternity brothers, fast-tracking the FDA process for novel psychedelic drug treatments for veterans suffering from all forms of PTSD and other psychiatric conditions, including addiction. I'm sorry. I'll let the president explain off the cuff as he does.
In 2024 study from Stanford University, 30 special operation veterans with traumatic brain injuries underwent, it's called Ibogaine treatment. Ibogaine. Remember the name. Is that pronounced relatively properly, would you say?
Yes.
I don't want to get it wrong. Ibogaine.
Ibogaine.
Body. Ibogaine. Rogaine with an Ibo. It's easy. I'm sorry. I'm falling into old habits. It's good. You did a good thing. I'm nitpicking. I apologize. A lot of the people are going to get the help they need.
Dude,
it's funny, though.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Dude, I think making fun of the president should be part of
late night
comedy, and that's funny. And I wish the other late night comedians understood it. Again, I don't got to agree with late night comedians, but at least make me laugh.
Yeah, crack me up.
Yeah.
I like jokes at the expense of powerful people.
Of course. I thought that's what the whole point is.
And I love seeing people punch up. I also like seeing people punch down.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bad person. I think both of them are funny.
Me too.
And you should punch up at some of these people.
Yeah, absolutely. Quickly. Liberal John on the phone wants to talk about Jon Stewart, 404-741-1230. John, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I was just going to say Jon Stewart for president.
There you go.
You know, I was telling Bryce I really think he could win, especially with the whole television personality and where we are now in politics and everything. I think he's very level-headed, and I'm sure you disagree with him all the time, but I think he's at the top of the list for liberals and progressives as far as a mindset and some type of leadership we're looking to.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Now, let me point out a couple of things, because this is where Liberal John is really on to something. Many of us grew up watching Jon Stewart.
Dude,
that was your news source.
That's right.
That if you didn't want hardcore news, you enjoyed Comedy Central and The Daily Show, and you got a version of politics that was fun.
Which is what we just heard. That's going back to.
So don't discredit that. You know, right off the top of like, well, Jon Stewart. Now, I also think Jon Stewart probably makes too much money to ever consider going down that road, because it's
Trump.
It's a hard living.
That part sucks.
You have to be a special kind of narcissist. All right? And by the way, every president is a narcissist.
Yeah, without a doubt.
All right? You have to be a special type of narcissist to do it. I don't know if I would apply that to Jon Stewart and his personality, but you cannot discount, just as Liberal John was bringing up, in this era of now seeing where if you aren't a politician, yet you're attached to politics in a way that you're interested, you're getting more credit for that. That's the way Donald Trump went about it, and that's why you have a lot of these people that have gotten in the game and they're getting serious consideration because they don't have a long political history behind them.
Smart call, Liberal John. Always welcome on the show. Thank you so much, and I think you're wise in what you said. I think your thought process is right, because let's just stack quickly, because I know we got a break. Stack up who Jon Stewart would be against. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, who has wrecked that state and its economy. Kamala Harris, who can't put together a sentence.
The more she talks, the less people like her.
And then, I mean, whomever else you want to choose to put in there, but those are the front runners, if you will. And then Jon Stewart. Dude, Jon Stewart wins that in a landslide.
It's interesting.
It'd be fun.
Jon Stewart or Stephen A?
I think, well, neither one of them, I don't think either one of them would run. Just on the surface, I like Stephen A. probably a little better than Jon Stewart. I feel like I agree with him maybe more.
Let me just point something out. Because I never watched The Apprentice or anything else like that. So there was no entertainment value for me in Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. So I didn't feel like I was losing anything when he got into politics. I'd be bummed if Stephen A. wasn't doing sports. I'd be bummed if Jon Stewart wasn't doing comedy.
Because there'd be a hole.
Yeah.
There'd be a hole.
I get something else out of them.
That's right. But yeah, to your point, I think I would go Stephen A. But who knows? Not that either one of them would run, I don't believe. But great call, John. Thank you. As always, 404-741-1230. Southern Poverty Law Center hired a racist, or lots of racists, to fundraise
that sounds so funny.
Off of racism. Dude, this is the most insane story of the entire morning. And we'll talk about it next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
Fighting the communists with truth every day on the only conservative news and talk station in Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Don't miss division rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies at Truist Park, April 24th through the 26th. The fun starts Friday with the Star Wars ticket package and theme night. Then Saturday, the Braves honor longtime manager Brian Snicker with a pregame on-field ceremony as he's inducted into the Braves Hall of Fame. The weekend concludes on Sunday when the first 3,000 kids get a mini Michael Harris II bobblehead. Visit Braves.com/promos for all the details and to purchase tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves. Braves country.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
This is Flounder, and if you want fewer HVAC surprises, call Dobbs Heating and Air. The Dobbs Club membership includes 2 maintenance visits a year, and right now you get a 3rd visit free. That means better efficiency, longer system life, and improved indoor air quality. You get priority scheduling, 15% off repairs, and no overtime charges. Plans start at just $199 with membership starting at $17 a month. Service calls are only $85. Dobbs Heating and Air. Local, honest, and dependable. Find them at dobbshvac.com.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, April 22nd, and here are your headlines. Democrats could gain ground in the race for control of the U.S. House after Virginia voters approved of a redistricting referendum. The measure gives the Democratic-controlled legislature temporary control over drawing congressional maps through 2030, potentially shifting the state's delegation from a 6-5 edge to as much as a 10-1. While it passed, the measure still faces ongoing legal challenges before Virginia's highest court. Governor Brian Kemp is highlighting tax cuts and infrastructure spending as he wraps up his final legislative session. Speaking in Cobb County yesterday, Governor Kemp pointed out more than $1 billion in taxpayer rebates and a temporary suspension of the state gas tax aimed at offsetting rising prices. He also emphasized continued investments in roads and local projects, calling economic growth a partnership between state and local government. And finally, a bomb threat prompted evacuations at multiple middle schools in Oconee County, including North Oconee High and Rocky Branch Elementary. Nearby campuses were placed on lockdown as deputies and emergency crews swept the area. Authorities later gave the all-clear with students and staff returning to class safely. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 52. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Corbett.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Get yourself active, right? Everybody needs to get out and get a little more exercise. What if you can make it fun while you're exercising? Some people call golf exercise. Don't get a cart. You walk the course. You walk in 18, man. You get the Fitbit steps in. Not too late for you to force them to tee it up. 5th annual Smyrna Public Safety Foundation Golf Tournament. Me and Los be out there broadcasting. Extra 106.3 throughout the day be broadcasting. Kimberly broadcasting in the afternoon. It's on the 27th. So next Monday, Brookstone Golf and Country Club supporting the programs that benefit the Smyrna Police and Fire and their families. For more information, to register, SmyrnaPSF.org. It's SmyrnaPSF.org.
I'm going to need a reminder for that.
Oh, how do we set that up? Like in your phone?
I probably should do it as an adult, but we'll see.
Hang on, what do you about? I'm confused.
I got to remember to go out there Monday.
Oh, yes.
There's half a chance I'll drive over here
and then have to
be like, oh.
Well, it can't, since it's a Smyrna program, it can't be terribly far from here.
No, I'd imagine it's relatively close, right?
But still, you hear and you're like, hey, where's everybody?
Hey, where is everybody? And Bryce is looking at me going,
Brookstone Golf Club?
Yeah.
I looked it up the other day. It's up 75.
Oh, is it a little ways? Okay, but still, it's not like you went to Gainesville or anything. It's totally in a different direction.
I understand we're broadcasting from Macon.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and you showed up here. Oh, well, I'm going to be real late. So, yes, Monday.
To the left of Kennesaw on a map, if that helps.
To the left of Kennesaw, okay. Would that be west of Kennesaw, you're trying to tell me?
This way I'm pointing.
Okay, this way that I'm pointing.
I guess east and west is very difficult for people these days. It's to the left of Kennesaw.
Have you
mean to the west?
Yeah. Have you ever looked at a map before? God, man. It's to the left of Kennesaw. That's great, Bryce. I mean, look, if there's some things that we need to work on, like you've handled taking over the show so well, man. You've been home run hitter, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
But your map work sucks.
Yeah, for
dude,
me.
I wouldn't take directions for you for anything.
I would say that when it comes to your level of professionalism in broadcast, you are aces at a very early age. But when it comes to map, I'm just saying Craig has to be a little disappointed.
Dude, have you ever looked at an atlas or anything? Nothing? No, do you own a map? Have you ever rolled out a map?
I'm not going to lie. I just never... No thought.
Well, there's been no reason
ever.
to. It's all on your phone.
No, I know, but there was never a thought of saying it was west of Kennesaw going through my head. It was
a direction never came to your mind?
It was always going to be left of Kennesaw.
Okay. I never even thought about direction, given actual direction.
Can't tell you how many times I've said that to my wife when I've said, just go south on 400 and then exit and head east. And she's like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
Tell her to turn right next time.
That's right. And then she'll know exactly.
No, that would not be to the right when you're heading south.
Yeah. Fine, just let it go. I won't embarrass him anymore, man. It's not time to pile on the child. You know? Sorry, man. You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. It's fine. Go home, talk to your daddy.
I turned right like you said.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Do you want a number? I can give you a number. I'm good with those.
That's okay. I'm not sure I believe you.
36 minutes.
Okay, that's okay. But go home and tell your daddy you don't know how to read a map. And then tell me you don't know how to change a tire. And he's going to feel like the biggest disappointment ever.
Listen, there's some things that I'm just not good at.
No, me too. Me too. There's plenty. I'm not good at many more things.
I never learned how to change the oil on my car.
Yep.
So I have always had to go do that and pay for it. And I feel that's a demerit when it comes to the whole man thing.
Fair. That's fair.
There's a handful of things where I'm like, I'm not really good. Let's just say
I'm not good at any of that stuff either.
Like sawing wood in terms of like, hey, I measured it and then I cut it.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that goes over and makes sure to buy it from Home Depot so that they'll pre-cut it for me.
Seriously, here's how.
And when they've told me, well, sir, it's 75 cents a cut, I'm like, well, let's make 10 of them. Because I don't want to go home and do it on mine.
And Daddy tells me, measure twice, cut once. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it. You know, that's what Daddy told me.
Yes.
Not that I'm
just pointing out.
Dude,
I've got those as well.
There's a lot that I'm not good at.
But it ain't a map.
No, I feel like I read a map. I feel like I do all right with that one. If I needed to get directions today and I broke out a map, I feel like I could, I could do it without GPS if I needed.
So if you're going up, Bryce, if you're going up 400 and you're heading obviously up 400, and I told you meet me at the Waffle House on Old Milton, head east. Which way are you going? Oh, man.
I got nothing.
There's no help in this child.
So I'll put in the GPS.
I'll meet you there because the GPS told me. Dude, I love it.
I know roads. I know roads. I just
What's that got to do with anything?
Like you said,
I know roads.
Like, I'm just thinking like Old Milton.
Yeah.
I know Old Milton.
Yeah.
I don't know like what exit.
You don't even know what exit it is? Don't you drive up 400 all the time?
I do, but I'm
That's exit 10.
so trained.
You never even paid attention to
I know.
Wow.
I know 12 is McFarland.
Yes.
11 is Windward.
Yes, that's right.
I do know those two because
Okay, well-
Costco's off of Windward.
Woohoo! We passed the test. We passed at least the first.
Is Costco east or west off of 400?
Oh, buddy.
Which way are you going?
We're heading north.
Heading north, west.
He moved his hands too. He's like,
He looked like he's giving directions.
like looking at him, he's like, okay, this one says L over here. Okay, yeah.
Like you're teaching your kids.
Teach your kids
Right and right. Yeah, that's right. Poor Bryce, man. We don't mean to pick on you that way.
But that's
because there's-
fun.
There's plenty of people that can't read a map or tell you directions.
My wife is one.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, my heavens. I bet there's women that are listening right now and be like, don't group me in with Bryce. I know directions better than that. I bet there are ladies right now.
Listen, west is left, east is right. That's all I got to remember.
West is left, east is right. If
you're going north,
there you go. There you go. All right, good news. Southern Poverty Law Center, y'all, is an organization that was set up in the 80s to fight racism. And they continue that mission today, they say, Los. They're still fighting racism. There's only a big problem that they have all of a sudden with their fight against the racism that exists.
Yes, the Department of Justice has accused the Southern Poverty Law Center of funding racism in order to fight racism.
Hang on. There's no way, right? There's no way. They decided we're going to use money to recruit racists or people we can pay to be racist or say they're racist or whatever. And then we're going to pay to point it out and fundraise off of it. Is that what you're telling me is happening?
Between 2014 and 2023, according to the indictment from the justice system, you have the Justice Department saying that $3 million, at least that's what they have now that's been tracked, went to white supremacist groups, including the KKK, the National Alliance, and the Aryan Nations and affiliates.
They were paying these people
to show up
at the Unite the Right, specifically for Charlottesville.
Specifically in Charlottesville, they paid to get white supremacist organizations to show up because nobody just shows up for nothing these days.
Well, yeah, right, dude. If anybody knows that, it's leftists.
Yes.
They know they got to pay people to show up to protest whatever it is they're protesting this week.
So they paid to have these groups show up.
But you would think the racists would just want to show up.
No. No, nobody gets off the couch for nothing these days.
But Joe Biden told me it's the biggest problem in America. That was the reason he ran, because the rampant racism that he was seeing in America.
It was $270,000 that went to Unite the Right and assorted member groups to get them out there and to get them activated.
And then they went and fundraised off of it.
And then they were like, see, we told you.
Look at all this racism. Not telling you that they had paid the racists to be there.
As we joked earlier on in the show, and it still applies, it's the arsonist showing up as the firefighter.
That's exactly right. Do you see this fire? I brought a fire hose. I brought buckets. We're going to take care of it.
But you lit the house on fire.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to put it out.
But I'm here to be the hero.
I'm the hero.
I'm the hero now.
I'm saving the world from this fire. I'm saving the world from this terrible racism. Heavens, dude. Dude, that is the
Poverty Law Center.
That's the craziest thing that I think I've ever heard. Because I know racism exists. I know that. Everybody knows that. But I think it's such a minute amount of people on any side. I think it's so small.
There is an old tweet, an old post on X that made its way around when the Justice Department put this out there. And it was from Charlie Kirk's old account that just reads, the SPLC is a hate group.
And Charlie was right.
He was right. He nailed it. It's been a hate group. And it actually has to create hate to then claim it's fighting hate.
Let that bounce around in your head a little while. You're telling me that I'm supposed to trust NGOs and nonprofit groups? Because I would assume they have some sort of nonprofit status at SPLC.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, given the amount of money from 2014 to 2023 that has been alleged to have gone to these groups, makes them the single biggest financier of neo-Nazi and KKK groups in America. The Southern Poverty Law Center, single biggest financier of hate groups.
Made racist postings under the supervision of SPLC and helped coordinate transportation for several attendees. They paid them, and then they bussed them there. Under their supervision, they made racist posts, and then that way they could go, see, we told you. Now send us more money.
And by the way, always remember, the KKK was founded by the Democrats.
Oh.
This wasn't like it wasn't the same team, okay?
Totally.
Same team. It wasn't like they reached across party lines and let's work with these people. Same team. It's always been the same team. It's the same team.
When we continue on Extra 106.3, it's Earth Day, and we're going to celebrate with you next on the Morning Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, April 22nd. The Atlanta Braves, their 6-game winning streak is now over after dropping Game 2 of their 4-game series in D.C. last night to the Nationals. 11-4, the final Game 3 of the series begins at 6:45 this evening. It'll be Martin Perez making the start against Zach Lytle on the mound. You can hear all of the game action on our sister stations, 680 The Fan, and free on the Fan app. The NFL Draft goes down tomorrow night. No first-round picks for the Atlanta Falcons this year, as the team will pick early in the second round unless they choose to move up in that draft via trade. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will be the host for this year's event. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Get ready, Atlanta. April 24th through 26th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Vinsure, returns to TPC Sugarloaf. See PGA Tour champions legends compete up close in a world-class tournament experience packed with action and unforgettable moments. Bring your friends and be part of one of Atlanta's premier sporting events. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th. We'll see you there.
I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but here's why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Companies are changing hands, showing up with new names. You may not even realize it's not the same team anymore. But Central, they've never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947, and that kind of consistency matters, especially when you're trusting someone with your home. Central's team knows HVAC inside and out, delivering dependable service, personalized solutions, and show showing up when it counts. No surprises, no switching jerseys, just the same trusted team Atlanta has relied on for generations. When it comes to HVAC, that's a grand slam. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com. That's 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Extra 106.3 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Because we're happy to have you as part of the Extra community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Lord, it's been a fun morning, and we're going to end it on some good disco music because it's Bryce's choice on Wednesday. And he's been playing the disco hits as best he can, and some of them have hit right, and some of them have not, Los.
I get it. This one?
Feel it a little bit.
I feel like I'm part of an 80s montage.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of synthesizer.
Yeah. And we're getting ready to build a house or clean up.
That's right. Yeah, they're
getting everything ready.
That's right, absolutely. Running through, vacuuming, the shower.
Because the parents are coming back. We got to get everything ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to clean this thing. Got to clean this thing up. And if we don't, we're going to be in some bad trouble. That's what it looked like.
Man, but, classic 80 montage.
Dude, I love it. That's back when movies were good. I don't know that there's, they don't have that same soul that they used to.
We just don't have we're going to take hours, days worth of work and put it into
15 minutes.
Like 45 seconds.
Or in a scene, yes. Yeah, right. Yeah, in the scene, 45 seconds.
I mean, about the only time you get that nowadays is fighting movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Creed. Yeah. All right, we're going to do 90 seconds of training.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. But it works, and it's funny you bring that up.
Weeks.
But that's because I love the Creed movies, so maybe there's something to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then Top Gun 3 is coming out, man. I can't wait. There's got to be a good 80s montage scene in there. It has to be. And I'll be disappointed if they're not.
You don't really get one in Maverick. I mean, the only thing that you get is the beach scene when they're playing football.
Yeah, or whatever that.
It's like their montage scene.
Yeah. And that was a take on the volleyball scene in the original. So, but if you want those movies to be successful, it does seem like you have to have those nuggets in there. So somebody immediately, it doesn't stand out to somebody that's not seen it as abnormal, but somebody that has seen the original, it goes, oh, I remember.
And by the way, in Top Gun, was it even necessary to have the volleyball scene?
No.
But it was an opportunity for dudes to have their shirts off.
For the ladies.
The ladies.
And then the Easter egg for people who love the original. Just being able to pick it out and find it.
Just shirts are off. Let's go.
I love it. And I love that movie. I can't wait till Top Gun 3, dude. I might go see that in the theater. I know I'm corny. I get it. I'm okay with it.
I probably would too, based on the last one.
Yeah, that would be one that I will go see in the theater because I did for Top. That was the last. As a matter of fact, Top Gun Maverick was the last time I went to an actual theater and saw a movie. My wife has gone with her girlfriends probably a dozen times since then, but not me. So Tom Cruise, you better deliver, buddy. You better deliver.
It's going to be a while if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary. They're extending the release, by the way, so it's going to stay in theaters longer.
Okay. I'll take that. I still want to sneak away and go see that movie.
Help me in. What is that again?
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I remember y'all talking about it, but I don't know that I know what it is.
Ryan Gosling's in it. It's basically...
It's a space movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's all we have to tell Tug.
Space is cool.
Yes. No, it's not. It's dumb. Have you not been listening to this show at all?
You look
Mr.
at...
left of Kennesaw?
You look at Rocky. And tell me space isn't cool.
You.
All right, put it this way. Your Rotten Tomatoes ratings are 94 and 96.
Jeez.
Like, that's one of the best movies of the year.
All right. So it can't win any awards. I mean, that's all.
But everyone raves about it, so I'm
But isn't that the way it always goes?
Yeah.
The movies people like, they never win awards. That's the way it goes.
Not like that. I mean, but this isn't. Am I wrong? This isn't like an Avengers movie. This is a different sort of blockbuster.
Okay, I'm taking your word for it because I don't know, man. I've heard y'all talk about it. That's all I know. The fact that it exists is what I know about it. And now that space is involved.
We should have a promotion that we go and rent out a movie theater like monthly and just show Tug good movies.
I'm in.
This has made $575 million at the box office so far.
And we know somebody, like if we wanted to do like a movie day thing, because our friend Chris Domino down the hall, Baseball Jesus at 680, he's got a friend who owns a theater, Silver Sandy Springs.
Down the street, yeah. We went and we saw Avengers Endgame there when it came out at midnight.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all have done a couple of those midnight shows.
We did a couple of those shows.
There was. I remember a couple of those.
I got home at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
and I walked in. I hop into bed, and my wife, who is dead asleep, but she kind of rolls over and she's like, "How was it?" And as I'm still kind of wiping a single tear from my face, I'm like, I was surprisingly touched.
It was wonderful. Do you want a spoon?
I was like, there's something in me that's real sad right now.
It's way down deep.
I gotta get to bed.
It struck a chord. I don't know if it came out for something that happened to me when I was a kid, but something's important there.
It was my 10-year, 12-year investment in movie. I was never a Marvel movie fan. Like the first time there was an Iron Man movie, I was like, this is dumb. And then I watched it, and I was like, okay, that was cool.
Right.
And then I started watching all those movies. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So by the time you invest 10 years and then it ends the way it does, I went, I'm a little touched by that.
I love it. I
feel better. A little touched.
We have been celebrating Earth Day because it's been, it's such an important, it's an important day. And we're so dialed in to making sure we're taking care of the climate, taking care of the earth. We went back and talked about our love for Captain Planet. It's just how we grew up watching it, and it resonates like Tom and Jerry resonates, and in cartoons that you grew up, Casper the Ghost.
You're
and
laying it on thick, aren't you? This is George Carlin. This was a comedy special from 30 years ago when we were in like the height of 90s Earth Day and all the sort of stuff that was being thrown around. And George Carlin, who saw the future before everyone else did, told you what's really going on.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone.
Yes.
Haven't we done enough?
Yes.
We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're going to save the planet? I'm getting tired of that.
It's so good.
And it goes on and on and on.
That's from Jammin' in New York, 1992.
That's 92.
1992 when he was laying it out there. And as, you know, I mean, his political stuff that he gets into, like he has one where he gets into all of the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And as he tells you, it's one big club and you ain't in it.
You ain't in it. That's one of his greatest lines of all time. And it's so true. We talk about it
all the time.
He clearly influenced us and so many other people, but so clearly influenced us. Comedians have that ability to influence generations of people just being observant. That's all he was doing, observing. And he talks about the arrogance. And it's the truth.
It's the truth. It's the arrogance of people thinking they can change these things.
So self-important. Look at me. I'm going to save it. And he went through the list. We're going to fix we're worried about the air, the water, and the whatever. I couldn't even see
one of his funny lines that he goes into a little bit later is, if all we leave behind is a little piece of plastic, then the world's going to become the Earth plus plastic.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe that's the reason why we're all here. Earth needed plastic, couldn't make it for itself.
That's right.
Needed us.
So we needed it.
Needed the humans to come make plastic.
Dude, absolute genius. That man was absolute genius. And I love when, people on the other side of the aisle try to say, oh, Carlin, he was crazy liberal. Was he? Because that's not what it sounds like to me.
He was, what I would say is that he was anti-establishment.
Amen.
As he got out of the 70s into the 80s, and his comedy became more than just like, was it the 7 words you can't say on television and radio?
Right.
It then turned into everything around you is a lie, and I'm going to point it out to you.
Freaking genius. George Carlin, genius.
Where do you think we got NIMBY?
That's right. Not in my backyard.
Not in my backyard. That was a George Carlin invention.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having fun with us. Thank you for participating. Social media at Xtra1063 or on the phones at 404-741-1230. Beck, Clay and Buck, Kimmer Show.
Oh, my God.
Up this afternoon for Los and Bryce. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
More than just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The best time to shop for a new car is when selection is strong and the offer is clear. Right now at Marietta Toyota, the new 2026 Toyota Camry is all hybrid and in stock. It's built for commuters with exceptional fuel efficiency, up to 53 miles per gallon in the city. Voted Best of Cop, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Dealership Service Center. Here's the difference you don't get everywhere. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. For well-qualified buyers, special APR financing is available on the new 2026 Camry, 4.99% APR for 72 months. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Offer ends May 4th, 2026. Lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for details.